This stream is brought to you by... Have you ever been misunderstood? A puppy in a rage monster's body? Well, we here at Trollocs Lives Matter believe there is a human inside all of us. And
they were effectively genetically engineered war tools.
TLM, because even
nightmare fuel
needs love too. And maybe a hug. Hello, I am Jafe Dumpkins, founder and CEO of Trollocs Lives Matter, TLM. Thank you for watching this advertisement. Oh, look at that little guy. Look at that little poopsie whoopsie. He's a cutie patootie, isn't he? Look at her pet. Oh my God! The cut. Wheel of time, you say? I have no idea, but I do love this chair. It's great. Ooh, what's that? Hey, a pine cone. Smells delightful. Let's get that out of here. Let's go. Man, my own bones are aching. I like going for a walk. Hey, that's a birdie. Look at that up there. I like birdies. Oh, what's that over there in the forest? Oh, you know what I could really go with? A tree hug. Wonderful. Hello. We are back to talk more crap and be toxic and be right. I don't know what else there is in life, right? I mean, how are we doing, Alex? What do you think?
Doing well, yeah. This was one of the wilder videos.
Oh shit!
I think you're frozen. I'm still moving around.
I immediately get DDoSed or whatever. Like, what the like? Like my there's nothing wrong with my connection all day. I start up StreamYards and YouTube, and all of a sudden I have a connection problem. Did you say anything or like I didn't hear a word you said?
No, I just talking about the connection. Yeah, I will say, man, your audience in the comments is already ripping.
Well, so we're gonna go for it here. We're gonna look at it, but they're fighting for number one. They're being a bunch of trolls, and I love it. I love you guys. You know it. So Griff who's number one right now? Let's just check this out here. So number one is so Nick is number one as always. Because Nick got just a stranglehold on being number one. The crown is Nick's. Aldan right behind him. Grifter, you're pulling up the third chair. Nick, good to see you. Grifter, good. How are you? Haven't seen you. Feel good to see you. Who else? Aaron. Yes, they are. Yes. When you think men can be women, and you can believe anything, the fans of the show live in a delusional world. 100%. Thank you, Aaron. Welcome. Traditional, good to see you. This XP farming crap is some weird bullshit YouTube is doing. It makes no sense. There's no rules to how you get experience. It just promotes spamming. But, at least you guys spam actual sentences. It's not just like, well, now you do. You guys were doing sentences word by word, but you guys have grown up. Mule isn't here yet, so we haven't started doing that yet. Mule's going to be upset that he's not number one if he ever shows up. But Aldan, what is up? Jeremy, what is going on? Good to see you. Neil, how are you? Good to see you. Who else we got here? Caladair, good to see you. Nope, live, buddy. We are live. Premieres are a weird thing. It's weird when you do a premiere. It just sort of kills your video. I don't get it.
Yep.
I don't know. It's so odd. That's why you don't really see more premieres on YouTube. If you guys are curious, is unless you're like a mauler or something like that, like even if you get good viewership during your premiere, it tends to just the algorithm doesn't like premieres. It's very weird. Dark Wolf, good to see you. Eld, howdy. And Fadian is here as always. Vendel, bringing it in. Alex, man, you were a kid, and holy shit. Fuck, Eldritch Disco. Man, welcome. Copium is 100% the name of the day. We'll see. Now I haven't watched this. Everybody has told me it's interesting. I was going to watch it before, but I got busy playing Mario Kart World Tour with Easton, having a ball. Man, what a fucking debacle this launch has been of Switch 2. What, dude? And I got my Switch 2 for like $50. So it's like winning there, right? But the event, you had to go back at midnight to pick it up. And I ended up being there for like an hour after I'd already paid for it and all that. I thought it was just, here's my receipt, give me my Switch, off I go. The most unorganized thing I've ever seen in my life. It was crazy, but yeah. Well, so playing a bunch of Switch today, it was fun. It's fun. We're gonna be playing more after, probably. Salty, you toxic motherfucker. It was great having you on again, man. Welcome back to the internets. You'll hopefully you come back, even if I do threaten you with more Wheel of Time season 3 clips. I know you didn't survive the few we showed you. His favorite character is now the Finn. He loves that guy. I mean, who's who's not favorite character is that? I mean, right? I mean, he is the best character. I don't know, right?
A foxy lady, that one.
Is it a lady? Okay, yeah, maybe.
Is it? I don't know.
Who fucking knows, right? All I know is it's borrowed from Cats, the movie. But you know, Sam 8000. F this show. Matt is my favorite character. Thank you, Sam, as always, for being here and for the super chat. Kane, good to see you. I might be playing some games tomorrow, Kane, early on in the morning. So if you're around, check it out. So, first off, we're gonna check out the Daniel tonight. Now it's funny because I don't normally do this shit, like, but I'm just tired. I'm tired. I know, Will, you're living in a dream. You've been trying to get me to do reaction shit since you started, so I'm sure you're hyped. I broke the seal with the WOT up on Monday, which went very well, and fuck that guy. Straight up, fuck that guy. I'm done. I'm done. When you could just lie outright. Have you seen that video, or did you see any of the stream?
I've not. I'm like an hour behind the end of that stream. I got about half of it in today, and I thought to myself I should skip to the end of this one and watch the good part. But
yeah, it is the best part by far. But yeah, it was a good stream. But the end cooks, man. It was a lot of fun. But yeah. So you still so you got the best part left.
Looking forward to it, man. His thing, like, I don't understand how people could want this show to fail, knowing that it brings so much joy to so many people. Cause I don't like you, you fucking idiot. Like,
well, and just it's like, you know, I'm sitting there watching him outright. Oh shit, this wasn't. I'm sitting there watching him just make shit up that isn't true. Like, it's like nobody tells, like, how many times do I have to say you can like shit, but I'm not gonna just eat up the same shit as you. Like, I'm not gonna not call it out for being shit. But if you want to choose to eat the shit, then that's, you know, fuck you. Go ahead. And all these just, you know, just, man, repeats himself over and over. It was just, man, it's like, you see that shit, and you see people that are just willing to just lie.
yes.
And just make up shit. It's just like, well, why the fuck am I being so nice? Right? Like, why am I holding my tongue when you're just making me out to be this villain that I all but avoided all of them because of that, right? It's like, you guys know, especially you and Zax, like, you should react to this. It's like, I don't, do I really want to get into this, you know, this shit? I don't know. I've tried not to do this, but, you know, fuck it. Weapons free now. I'm done. It's, man. It's, you know, so yeah, we're gonna take a look at it tonight. So hopefully, yeah, it was fun. Hopefully, we have a repeat tonight because apparently Mr. Greene has some interesting things to say, including apparently he drops a "it's not woke" bomb in there somewhere, which I don't know how you watch this show and don't think it's woke, but yeah.
There's some comments up here that I think are pretty good, and it's basically the a
Is
fish
this on his
doesn't
video?
know, or no, and your chat.
Yo, go ahead. You can share them still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
fire
was just
away,
looking
man.
for him. Hang on.
You can
Let me
star
find
them
some
too.
things.
Yeah, if you star them if you want. Yeah. go
Daniel
ahead.
Greene is immersed in wokeness. Does a fish think he's wet? That's exactly what this is.
Very good. Perfect. What was I doing? Sorry, I was looking for something. Yeah, no, yeah. Just if if there's a chat you want, go for it. Salvis, what's up? Good to see you. Oh God, that's what I was doing. I was gonna look at something because I saw something today. I don't know if you've seen it. There's been a few of them, but I would just want because it made me in between my riding around in circles trying to catch Easton in Mario Kart. There was a cool little article that popped up. And let's see here. I want to try and find out. Let's see if I can find it. Because it brought a little smile to the cockles of my heart. And and I hope here we go. This is it right here. So we'll go to the Screen Rant source, even though it came from TV Line. Before we get into Mr. Green here, give some people some time to trickle in here. We're at 50 people already. Holy moly. What's up, guys? I got the kick thing going too. If you guys are interested, we're going to continue with that experiment. So I'll put the link to the kick stream in here too. It may hang out. It may go away. Who knows? We're trying some things around here. But the Wheel of Time Season 4 gets definitive update after Prime Video cancellation. Have you seen this? Have you seen any of what this is about?
I just saw the thing from TV Line that just said.
There you go. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So yeah, I just it's good. The TV Line, it was a little harder to find in the chat, or in the text. So this is basically Screen Rant taking from TV Line. What TV Line has a well-placed source apparently within the Wheel of Time or Amazon Prime. So TV Line reports that according to well-placed sources, there are no plans to shop the Wheel of Time around to other potential platforms. So stop your stupid petition. You only got 100,000 people. You're screaming into the void. Nobody's listening. The show is dead.
I cannot emphasize enough how ridiculous this was from the beginning. And I've been we really do need to do a thing about Sony reaching out to all the other streaming platforms.
Yes. Oh, we need to do that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we got to do it. Absolutely. I'm on board. Yeah, we got to figure that out. But I have the costumes for it. I'm pretty ready to go. So we just got to find the time and the place and get a script together. It's gonna be fun. But yeah,
cool. I've been working on my my fairly racist Japanese accent so I can play a Sony guy. Just so you know,
dude, I'm ready. I can bring out some terrible accents too. You've heard them before. I mean, I do a mean avienda. So if I
you do.
It is legendary status, my avienda. Some thought I should have been cast instead of whatever her name is, but but yeah, so it looks like what's this mean for Wheel of Time? Sounds like the end of the road. That petition that got 5 people to sign it 100,000 times doesn't look like it's gonna do the job. Oh God. Oh, what is this? What Daniel Greene, from what I've seen in the last couple of years, comes off as someone who knows he sold his soul and just has to ride the wave out to its end. So that's what you said. That's what this video basically is.
Yeah. So it's a combination of that. His absolutely refusing to blame Rafe Judkins like in any way. Like he goes this entire video without saying Rafe Judkins.
Well,
Like it's one of the
really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, well, all of them are in complete denial. Like it's all like every time that somebody says that that it was canceled, it's budget reasons. It was because the budget was too high. It's like no, nobody watched the fucking show. That's why it's a money hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a complete money sink.
Yeah, especially relative to like when you talk about like well, I mean, it is a budget thing. I mean, everything is a budget thing. The ratio of budget to viewership was just off. Like
well, yeah. So yeah, budget thing because well, you budget things to make money, and when it doesn't make money because nobody's watching it, well, yeah, of course it's a budget thing. So it's like you're sort of, but you know what I'm saying. That's not what they're saying. They're saying that the budget was too high, so they couldn't keep going on with their excellently loved program. It's like, well, no, but the budget is exploded because they budgeted 100 million per episode, and they make $10 per episode. So like, that's not a very good return on investment.
Nope. Traditional, yes. This is the autopsy video.
So you say 15 minutes in is the best place to start, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, maybe just like, skip ahead to like 3 minutes, watch for 30 seconds, see if he says anything interesting, and then do it again. But honestly, most of it was just sucking off Sanderson and how like a history of how Sanderson got pulled into it, basically.
Really?
Yep.
Well, since Sanderson, by his own words, is basically not involved.
Yes. No, he's talking about how Sanderson got involved with writing the books.
Oh, well, what does that have to do with the show? God damn. Like,
it's weird. Like this entire video is bizarre in that it's like 5 different videos all kind of mashed together. Like it's not really a coherent like through line essay kind of thing.
So okay. Can I just make a quick comment real quick? Is he got a whiteboard out because his editor quit because of all the controversy, and he doesn't have somebody to do editing in the background to make these bullet points?
I don't think so. I think he's just like being an odd one.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was he didn't have there was a mass exodus. So what can I say, right? Danu, good to see you, buddy. There are plenty of YouTubers who claim it's not woke. What's worse is some of them even agree that the boys had their moments robbed and given to the girls. Like, a cognitive dissonance is unreal. Thank you very much, Danu. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like that guy on the screen right there. It's genuinely just this reflex reaction to the word woke. That we will reject that anything is woke, no matter how obviously it is.
Well, and here's my question, and I pose it to everybody, okay? If it's not woke, who the fuck was the show made for?
That is another excellent question.
Like, if you're telling me that this show is not woke, then what the hell are you doing? Because it sure looks like you're making a show for the woke crowd. So if it's not that, then what the hell is it?
Yeah, like, oh, you just happen to be terrible at making television in all of the ways that like favor the political orthodoxy. Like that seems an insane coincidence to knock out over 24 episodes.
Yeah, it's yeah. So it's just like I don't, well, that's what I'm saying. Grifter, right? Is that's who it's made for. But when you have somebody come out and say it's not that, then it's like, well, then it's a brain breaking statement, because it's like, well, that's clearly who it's made for. But if you watch it and don't think it's made for that community, it's clearly not made for the book readers, because there's nothing book reading involved. So if the woke people, the woke community doesn't think it's woke, the book people don't say it has nothing to do with the books. The people that watch just fantasy go, this is crap. Who did you make it for?
Yeah. Also, it's not like Rafe Judkins has been subtle in interviews about this. Like, he's very blatantly come out and said, "Oh yes, we wanted to explore themes of polyamory."
I
Like,
want. It's like, did I freeze again?
I think
Was
so.
it me? Yeah, sorry. I'm back though. But yeah, in even more recent statements, it was important that he had a gay lead, and it's like, well, that's funny because Moraine isn't gay, but okay, well, you made her gay, so if that's not woke, what is?
100%.
Right? So it's like they had a dude keeper in Tar Valon, for fuck's sake. That is as woke as people. That is as woke as it gets, people. Case closed. Thank you, Elden. 100%, buddy.
Yep.
All right. So I have it at 2 times speed. Let's make sure I don't want the volume up too high.
On all of BookTube. I have not checked if that's true. I'm just assuming it.
That's too fast.
Honestly, this part is super boring. It's just him giving like his plan for like his next couple of like projects.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So basically, anything on this whiteboard you can skip ahead to.
Okay.
Okay.
What is this?
This is him reflecting. This is him talking about his journey with the Wheel of Time.
Okay. What?
Truth is, I would even reread the Wheel of Time whenever something traumatic or bad happened in my life, and enough of my private life has been shared on the internet without my consent recently.
So he started reading the Wheel of Time, like he's read it 4 times in the last month. Is that what he's saying? Sorry.
Has been shared on the internet without my consent recently. When you say your life, you mean you're cheating on your fiance, right? Like, my life. That's what that translates to, right, Daniel?
Ooh, yeah. I freeze because I preached the tooth. Well, I am the prophet of the dragon, right? That guy was never wrong.
Nope.
Thanks, Jerry. Look, am I? I think we were just clicking on the same button again. We're fighting over that comment. That was funny. Look, and I don't want to go into the whole thing with him. The whole controversy. But look, there's a big. I think what was done to him by that crazy person was not right. But that doesn't mean that he's a good person because he's cheating on his girlfriend. It's like, okay, yeah, you're doing the right thing, and saying, yeah, I didn't do this horrible dirtbag thing. I just did the dirtbag thing. Like I did the I'm a piece of shit thing. I didn't do the criminally
thing.
Piece of shit thing. I just did the I'm a real piece of shit thing. Right, so I had my things to say about it. I don't think what was done to him was right, but he doesn't come out like a rose in that, or smell like he still comes out of that looking like dude, keep your stuff in your pants, man. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? So I guess he's bred a lot of Wheel of Time here in the last few days because it's been pretty traumatic for him, I would think. But it's his own fault. I should say it's his own fault, but he's not doing a lot to help himself by making some bad choices. So, yeah. So, Jeb says, still showed his true colors. He is a sex freak who can't stop. No wonder I didn't think. Yeah, no, that's well said, Jeb. Like, that's exactly right. Is what he was accused of was definitely not correct, at least in that instance. But he's not coming out looking great. He still comes out looking pretty bad, in my opinion. But regular yes, exactly, Leanne. Regular POS as opposed to the illegal brand of POS. Exactly. He's just your run of the mill POS. So, Neil says this video has a lot of padding. Yeah, that's what that is also what Will was telling me. So we're trying to skip through some of that. So how is it we do
time. I've read the series probably 8 or 9 times total. There was something about the way Robert Jordan built his worlds that was just so easy to escape into.
why? Okay, can we what? Why would we talk just like we're talking why are we using this?
Dude, I don't know. And Eldritch Disco, yeah. A lot of women, they heal like Wolverine when the bank account is good.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. Yeah. Boy, but like you're talking about escaping into Robert Jordan's world and you put you're using a screen cap of one of the most crazy like it's for this. So Jeb, I'm assuming you've read the Wheel of Time. You haven't watched the show. Is that this is supposed to be one of the Finns? So yeah, it's that's a great It does sort of look like a non-green version of the Grinch, huh? A little bit.
I said Kelsey Grammer's Beast mixed with Carrot Top.
That's a good one too. I still think it's borrowed from Cat.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think it was a leftover. Since they have a great track record of borrowing shit from other shows. We outed the Troy costume, and there was a few other things. So I think this is just leftover cat costume that never got used in the live action adaptation of Cats. So, but so this was so Jeb, this was supposed to be the Finns. This is where Matt is supposedly going to get his memories removed and made into a retard. Oh, sorry, wait, that's not what happens. My bad.
Yep. John Thomas, no, I'd probably just be dead. Like I just there wouldn't really be much to it. Like,
oh boy. So here we go. So I just had to stop.
Yeah, honestly, this is a whole lot of him just like jerking himself off about like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm just sort of.
You can just basically like skip to the 14-minute mark here.
14-minute mark. All right, cool. All right, so we're about 14, and that's man. He's looking a little bit Brando
to hyperspace.
Looking, this is not a great pause, but me and Brandon, I have feelings, Brandon. Right now, you got a lot of work to do, Brandon.
Right?
You got a lot of work to do to get my get me back, buddy. Like, let's be real. Like, holy shit. No more wind and truce. It's like I finished my last video. No more wind and truce, man. That's gotta be your one. That's gotta be your one-off.
Yep.
Because you got a lot of work to do. All right, so we're at about the 4-minute mark. You probably got to finish with it.
And a few months after that, I went full time as
Yeah,
I was not only just getting my friends to
So he went full time. So Brandon Sanderson made his career too.
Hundreds, if not thousands, of nerds to go ahead and give Robert Jordan's epic, the story that meant the most to me in my entire life, a shot. And I still can't put in words how that makes me feel. There's a type of imposter syndrome almost.
Okay, moving on. I don't know what we're doing here.
He's still talking about himself here.
I know. I don't know.
You can skip past him talking about.
I thought this was is he about to die? Is he giving his own autopsy? What is happening?
Yeah, he's just ripping through it. He's gonna talk about Winter Dragon here. Honestly, maybe it's the 15 or even the 17-minute mark.
So can I? So do you know how long it would take for me to do? Well, actually, that's not fair. I could do an autopsy about what's wrong with this show for fucking 8 hours probably, but I could, he's 14 minutes in. That's a full video. Like it's a wrap, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just saying. I mean, okay. Wind and Truth should have been called Hot Wind and Lies. Yeah, probably. That's pretty good.
Okay. Aired called Winter's Dragons that was produced by a company that many people accuse of squatting on the rights, and I've gone in depth here about how Robert Jordan did not even like iWatch, as they call themselves now. But in the aftermath of what is undoubtedly an ashcan pilot for the Wheel of Time, I think a lot of fans kind of gave up. Yes, Game of Thrones did
Okay, so hold on. I have to back up because why are we okay. I'm gonna play this again. I'm gonna slow it down because the fact that we can't even be committal about how fucking how shitty IWAT is
Yes.
just a sign of like here, I'll say it for you. IWAT is a piece of shit company that is squatting on the rights for no fucking reason. They're not going to produce shit. They never have. They suck ass. Okay? I'll say it for you. Why? Like, here, listen to what he
A
says.
lot of people wondering when and how, if the show would be adapted. There was a pilot aired called Winter's Dragon that was produced by a company that many people accuse of squatting on the rights, and I've gone in depth here about.
Many people accuse of squatting on the rights. Are you not one of those people?
So I think he's talked about this before. I think he's hedging here because I believe later on in the video he says he even interviewed one of the IWAT people at one point. So I think he's trying to avoid like really blasting them, but it also might just be that he's just afraid to take a hard stance on anything.
I think that's what it is. Because it's just like, it's clear they're squatting on it. Nothing of value has been produced since they've owned the rights.
Yep.
Not well. Was the game through that? No, the game is the only thing of value besides for the books that in the
And that was
original
pre-IWAT.
audiobooks. That was pre-IWAT, yeah.
Yep.
So,
So
they haven't done shit.
Alexander Nurenden, there's a great part of this video where he goes on a 5-minute rant about how Amazon being shitty to Audible writers was partially responsible for the show's failure. It's legitimately one of the oddest like tangents I've ever seen anybody take.
What?
Dude, this video is just there's a lot of editing, but it's straight up stream of consciousness at some point.
So it sort of does it get as good as my favorite video of all time? Season 2,
No.
episode 8. Okay.
No,
Guys, and let me, if you we have 70 people here, so let me my favorite video. Thank you all for being hit the like button. If you hear me reference my favorite video of all time, my favorite live stream of all time, I am referring to, as many of you know, on the Dusty Wheel there is a video, or on, I think it's on Brandon's channel too, Brandon Sanderson's channel, where the Dusty Wheel thought it would be a brilliant idea to have Daniel Greene, Brandon Sanderson, and himself watch season 2, episode 8, the finale of season 2 of the Wheel of Prime, live with live reactions. It is an all-time banger of a stream. My favorite thing, because you can see point blank how they feel about the show. All the faces and the squirming and and all the weird noises and motions that come out of them watching that episode of television just shows you what they really think. So if you haven't watched that video, or go watch us watch it and laugh our asses off. We had a great time. I may have to do it again. It was so much fun. But what was it? I saw John O. Green is such a sellout. At one time, I would occasionally listen to his book reviews, but he became Mr. DEI over and over. I lost interest in his review. So I watched Daniel Greene. Yeah, I used to watch Daniel Greene at first myself. Well, I thought Daniel was gay.
no, I believe he's Misha Collins bi, where he's straight, but he's ashamed of being straight. Like he's a closeted straight person, if that makes sense.
Is that okay? Because I like, for the longest time, I thought he was gay. So so I don't know. So I could, when I heard he had a wife, I'm like honestly, up until like the controversy, I'm like, wait a second, he's in trouble for doing what to who? He has a girlfriend? Wait, what? Like I really didn't know, right? So I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's just like, it was a shock to me, but moving on. So if you haven't seen that, the season 2, episode 8, you can find our reaction to their watching it, or you can just watch their reaction. It is priceless. I'm telling you, you won't. If you're one that likes to see people squirm and make a bad decision, it's great, but we had a lot of fun with it. So okay, so yes, back to it. iWatt is a shit company. iWatt, known as Red Eagle. You change your name, it doesn't mean anything. We know who you are. I really wish they would just suck it up and sell the rights to somebody. Just cash out. I don't know. I don't understand why they're squatting on it. I don't understand why they won't produce something of value. I don't understand. So just cash out. Sell it to somebody.
Should have sold it to Sony.
Yeah. Yeah. But now and here's the problem. The brand, just like Star Wars, not as bad as Star Wars is damaged, but the Wheel of Time brand is damaged. It's now a damaged product to the point that they are not even trying to shop it around to sell it off. Like, they're not even trying. They're not even going out there and being like, "Hey, Netflix, $20?
Yeah,
give me a 10 spot, maybe. Coffee, free soda for the boys in the locker room, like in Moneyball." No.
Yeah, right.
No, not even. They're not even trying to get rid of it. They're just like, nah, fuck it, cut and run. This show sucks. So yeah, and the funny thing, I think the most funny thing about iWatt right now is the video game thing keeps coming up. I don't know why. It's but the minute like there's gonna be, and then what we want to do, it's gonna take a few generations of upgrades. So don't expect it before the PS6 or maybe even PS7 generation. It's like, you have no intention of making shit.
Yeah.
Like, when you make a statement like that, you don't plan on making anything.
Nope.
Give me a break. Yeah. So okay. So let's see here. All right.
How Robert Jordan did not.
It
even like
doesn't
iWatt
really
as they
start
called it.
getting good until the next time he's sitting in front of the brown rock.
Okay. The Brown Rock.
That one.
Robert
yeah,
Jordan didn't even like iWatt. I don't like. It makes me wonder who conned him into doing this. I don't know. I don't even think they got paid. I don't even think they got paid. Not much. What were we saying?
So when he sold it to him, they were originally called Forsaken Films, and they had one of the OG Star Wars guys on it.
Okay.
And the company basically fell apart. They lost like 2 of the 4 partners or whatever. And so like it was a slightly more respectable company back in the day. But
then they lost it. I got you.
Yeah.
Farm Girl Rebel, you probably made the right choice. It became unwatchable for me. Season 1, episode 5, never went back. You are yep, good call. It's one of those things, like the reason that I know one of the reasons I went through it, so a lot of you guys didn't have to. And so people who were watching it and did nope out later didn't feel like they were alone. Because I know that's how a lot of us found each other. We were just looking for somebody to have a dash of reality and not like go, wait a second, why do all these people gaslighting me into thinking that this show is good? So anybody that noped out early, probably smart. So so let's see here. So
Is that Amazon, in partnership with Sony, were going to adapt The Wheel of Time.
I don't know about you, I have a bad feeling about this. And I knew from go this was going to be incredibly difficult and face possibly insurmountable challenges because, well, we're in the wake of Game of Thrones, and no doubt it finally.
Huh? Why?
just because it's a difficult series to adapt, I think is his argument.
I don't think it's difficult to adapt at all.
No, it's not. You just
I don't
have
think
to
so.
not be
We
stupid.
yeah, we keep saying that, and I still think it's bullshit. I think it's easier to adapt than Game of Thrones.
I would agree.
You know, there's no giant dragons flying around. Well, I mean, you could have had Drakkar, but Drakkar. But I think it's with the cinematography, we talked about it here lately, and I think it's one of the things that we've recently sort of said out loud, and I agree with 100%. The whole CGI budget, which you spent on the terrible looking weaves, remove it. Don't show the weaves. You save yourself an ass ton of money that you can put into, I don't know, making better looking creatures.
Literally anything.
Anything. Yeah. I still the best idea. I think it might have been you that said it first. Just show them weaving one time, and that's all you need. We're not supposed to be able to see the weaves anyways.
Yep.
Solves so many problems. But I remember him coming out and saying that was one of the things that he it's difficult. How do you show weaving? Don't. That's the answer. You don't. You just show them doing some hand motions, and then a fireball shows up.
So if I was a lunatic, just an absolute crazy person, I would even think about doing just film the exact same thing, or put on Amazon, put the male version and the female version. And if you pick the male version, you can see the males channeling. And if you pick the female version, there's so many interesting things you could do. I mean, Amazon would never do that, but do something fun.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. Try something. Be innovative. Why not? Yeah. So I think this is a falsehood. I don't think it's a hard. I think it's actually quite easy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the first season. You're basically traveling through small villages and backwoods. Maybe the challenge is Shadow Logith, maybe, probably. But you can overcome that. That's definitely do it better than what you did here. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
The ways could have literally been a pitch black soundstage with a white freaking bridge.
Yep.
Right? I mean, it literally could, because put a few signposts in there, done. That's literally what the ways could have been.
Yep.
Masha and Shin could have been nothing but voices trying to chase them, and the actors having to act like they're getting chased by a cloud. You didn't even have to have a cloud. Just needs to be some ambiance. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, Rick Elder makes an excellent point here.
A million of us couldn't get the season 8 remake of Game of Thrones. I don't think 100K is going to save wheel time. I think you're spot on, Rick. 100%. It couldn't get 150. Couldn't get him to not cancel it. So I think you're probably. I think it's pretty official. It's dead now from today's news about them not shopping it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that thought there was any hope, I didn't. I don't think any of us were fooled, but
Yeah, I mean, this was dead 4 months before season 3 aired.
Yeah.
It was definitely dead.
Yeah.
You get it. You've heard me give this spiel before.
Oh yeah, no, but you're right. You're 100% right. It was. Yeah. Why do you think they dumped it on the air? Because they had it.
Yeah, it was done.
It was done. So it's like, well, we have this piece of shit. We might as well, we'll get a little bit out of it. We might as well recoup our $10. My kids need lunch money. I 10.50. I can.
Yeah.
Not possible to do fantasy epics justice on the screen. The Song of Ice and Fire adaptation of Game of Thrones still had to tone down some of the epic fantasy elements, and there was so much more in Robert Jordan's world.
Did not. They made a choice. Disagree hard.
Yep.
Dan and Dave did not want to do epic fantasy. They wanted to do political fantasy. So they took out the magic because they didn't like it.
Yep.
They didn't have to. They made a choice. HBO would have given them all the money on planet Earth to keep making Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The way the first few seasons were. They would have blank check.
Yeah. There was no amount of money HBO would not have given.
Hell, they were still begging for seasons when they said, no, we don't want to. We only want to do 6 episodes on season 8. They're like, what do you mean? We want 2 more seasons. You only want to do 6 for 8? We want 10 seasons. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I have to personally put George in front of his typewriter and get him going on this, we can do it.
Yeah. We want more. Nope. So that was a decision made by Dan and Dave, not but because they were forced to, in my opinion. But
that from Go, I wasn't sure how they were going to handle the level of VFX and budget it would require to showcase so many of the crucial important moments from the Wheel of Time. In addition to that,
are you going to name one? Because from season 1, if you do season 1 right, your budget goes up exponentially, in my opinion.
Or just don't be stupid with your money. This didn't need to be this expensive.
No. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like he's like the big elements from Eye of the World, right? What are they? The end.
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Him traveling, or them traveling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but
Baldara,
that's not a huge well, like you have maybe a big VFX budget on Shadow Logoth in the end, and maybe with some of the Trollocs, but you could probably, if you were a little bit more creative, you could do all the Trollocs like the orcs were in Lord of the Rings,
100%.
and do it all practical.
Yep.
You just again made a choice. That's cheaper and easier to do. Well, I shouldn't say easier to do. It takes some skill, but they could have done it.
Yep. Pay 10% for the actress that plays Moraine.
Yep.
That saves some money there.
Go with all nobodies. You don't need Rosamund Pike. Go with all unknowns. And and then and then as soon as you do season 1 and you do it honoring the source, it's going to be so popular that your budget is going to increase, that you can do some more fancy stuff when you need it. Like, I don't know, a sky battle, or the Horn of Valir, the Heroes of the Horn coming back, that type of shit. So you do a kick-ass season 1 with the limited budget, and the budget comes. This isn't brain surgery.
Yep.
It sucked seeing my least favorite company, as my hatred has only grown further for them as I've seen what they've done to the publishing space as a whole, with such a major player in adapting the Wheel of Time.
Yes, his big thing here is he really doesn't like Amazon.
No one was to be harmed.
And then the craziest thing happened.
What the fuck? What does this mean?
So he's saying that the fans are mad at Amazon.
Eyes, mirrors, cars. I played my part brilliantly.
No one was to be harmed.
And then
Amazon, thank you for canceling the Wheel of Time. Rafe Judkins is fully to blame.
Jeff, I'm glad you and I had that talk so we could get this canceled. I appreciate you listening to me.
Yeah, I thank you for checking out my petition. I know, all hail the Lord Dragon. It was important stuff. Yeah. So,
Kane, I would have hired Dempsey for the score.
Dude, he would have killed it. It would have been so much better. He could have rocked that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yep. So he's about to talk about his conflict of interest and his principles here.
Hell yeah.
Arun, he doesn't like Amazon because he's an author and flipping out about Ottawa. Yeah, he's going to go into a big rant about that. But this is also for like communist points. Like, you have to shit on large corporations in order to get like cred. Yep.
Before I knew what was going on, I was invited to a premiere. All right, so is this like this?
You just gotta let him rip here. He's gonna explain it all.
Because he's a fucking 300,000 subscriber YouTube channel at this point. He's the leading fantasy news. Like he has to know this. Is this him just being like, oh shucks?
Yes, this is him being fake humble.
Okay, is that what? Okay, I'm just making sure.
What? I am a nerd yelling at a camera in a room professionally who barely is qualified to do that. And suddenly I'm going to be in a position where I'm not only interviewing the cast of the show, but I'll be interviewing Oscar-nominated actress Rosamund Pike. I cannot stress enough how insane that felt. And there was a part of me that just felt really guilty going, a mixture of, again, imposter syndrome and also just not loving this company. But after talking to people close to me, it essentially came down to, look, the benefits and impacts you'll have in your life are monumental, and you not going will essentially do nothing. So absolutely enjoy this opportunity. And I did. I was flown out to a premiere. I do not remember much of it because the adrenaline was just at a 10. But we sit down in the theater and we watched the first 2 episodes, and I remember thinking, that's laying down a lot of groundwork. It feels really wrong, but they're having to massively condense. And then there are the 2 big clouds. They lost one of their main actors, requiring tremendous rewrites. Plus,
okay.
What's that have to do with episode 1 and 2?
So he sat down, he watched it, he thought to himself, this is very wrong, and then he had to justify why he wasn't shitting on it, and these are the excuses that he was handed.
Hold on, I'm playing that back. Is that really what he's saying here? Hold on.
Talking to people close to me essentially came down to, look, the benefits and impacts you'll have in your life are monumental, and you not
Right.
Okay,
So they paid you.
This is another great one. He was like, I really hate this company and I take a moral stand against them. But I talked to some people and they pointed out that it would be really good for me to do this and take this money essentially from this evil company. So I did, is what he's saying. Like,
Yeah.
he's admitting he did the bad thing.
I hate this company so much, but I really want to go to London. London, man, that would be. I've never been. NDA, sure, fuck it. Yeah, you're gonna fly me to London, give me some money? Shit. NDA, fuck yeah. I love Sony now. It's great. You guys are fantastic. Food? Oh, but food and lodging in London? Great. Awesome. You're gonna promote my YouTube channel and hype me up and yeah, fuck.
He says this
I hate Sony though. God.
He says this like 9 times in this video, and then he goes off on the guy who questions his credibility.
So Jeffrey, I kind of liked him talking about the books once he started shilling for Amazon show. I unsub. Same. That's same. Exactly the same for me, Jeffrey. So welcome. Excuse me. So, all right, here we go.
Not going will essentially do nothing. So absolutely enjoyed this opportunity, and I did. I was filling out to a premiere. I do not remember.
So I enjoyed being paid and being, hyped up. Yep.
Much of it
Didn't bother you too much.
What?
Didn't bother him too much while he was reaping all the rewards, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched the first 2 episodes, and I remember thinking, that's laying down a lot of groundwork. It feels really wrong, but they're having to massively condense. And they're the 2 big clouds. They lost one of their main actors, requiring tremendous rewrites, plus the bonus.
In America yesterday, drastic measures were taken as 2 of the nation's biggest states joined a third in ordering all non-essential workers to stay home. Now, New York and
Bullshit.
He's gonna mention these 2 excuses like 9 times. So like let's hit this one when he kind of starts sitting in front of his window like a creepy Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
California, Illinois are in lockdown mode.
I gave season 1 some slack, and maybe that was a bad thing in hindsight, but I still think the first season of the show is
Pause.
mediocre too.
Yes, sir.
It is very important to remember that line. I gave season 1 a lot of slack, and maybe I shouldn't have, because later on in this video, he is going to go off on a guy accusing him of lacking credibility in these arguments. This entire thing is a combined confession and maintaining his innocence. It is wild.
Okay, so like this is gonna come back.
Oh, he's gonna keep hitting this.
God, I am being I fucking, this is crazy. I never have a connection problem. I'm sorry. So this is gonna come back around. So remember that he said he let a lot of things go. Is that what we're keying on? Okay.
Yes. Remember that he said that.
Okay. And we all know this is true. We all know he let everything go. And we all know why, because he's come right out and said, Amazon paid me and made me sign. Well, I got certain benefits from Amazon/Sony. They made me sign an NDA, so I sold my opinion out to get goodies.
Mm-hmm.
As Aaron said, literal paid shill, 100%. Right on the head. We got 87 people in chat. Please hit that like button for me, guys. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. All right, moving on.
Kind of bad. But then the most uncomfortable thing during this entire process finally happens to me. I'm sitting down to do like post-episode release interviews for Prime, and I'm told at the end of recording one of the episodes where I wasn't entirely positive, just blanketly to everyone involved at the panel, that I should be a team player.
And you were! Wait a second. What? So wait a second. Hold on. Wait a second here. Dovey, first of all, thank you, Dovey, for the 1 gifted membership. John O, welcome to the Dragon Sworn. Thank you very much. Did Nihil become a member too? I didn't think he was a Nihil.
I didn't see one.
I didn't think he was a member.
Nihil Nahi, if you became a member,
Did we
let
miss
us
that?
know. We'll give you a
sorry.
call out.
Well, thank you for being here anyways, Nihil Nahi.
Joshua Templeton, do you have this? I would love to read that.
He lost a family member and drove him into despair. That is why he left the show. He talks about an interview returning. Are we talking about
Barney Harris?
Barney Harris? Did it find? Yeah, I would. Okay, I would love to see that, because as far as I'm aware, we never got a definitive answer why he left. If that's then abso-fucking-lutely. This channel popped up on my feed. Glad I checked it out. My kind of discussion. Thank you, Farm Girl Rebel.
Yeah.
We have a whole bunch of shit backlog of this stuff. so I hope you would find a lot to enjoy. So thank you very much for the $5 super. Appreciate it. So okay. All right. So what I took from this comment right here is he could have said whatever he wanted, and then he said he had people come over. It sounds like what he's saying is he was being negative, and they said, "Don't be negative.
Be a team player." Yeah. So you
Be
got
a team player." So
play this section because it's
okay.
It's funny
because it's like, so you're telling me that you watched everything and you were negative, and then you decided not to you decided to just sell yourself out. That's worse than going in before having the NDA signed, right?
Right, I would think so.
I think that's okay. I'll let him go.
I'm a critic. I'm a barely qualified one, but I have my principles, damn it. And that was a big
Daniel Greene, highly principled individual.
What? the self-proclaimed cheater. I guess he has principles when it comes to his YouTube channel, but not okay. That's a little bit low. I mean, it's true though. Like, I mean, that's a little low, but I mean,
Okay. So Steve, let's talk about this. You know what? I think let him play it.
Let him play more. We're not through. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll let him go.
Okay. So
okay.
You work for a corporation. I don't know. You probably have to go through conflict of interest training at work, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
So
I've done it many times, especially when they offer me free bags of chips. Yeah.
When you were watching the conflict of interest video, and when you discover that there might be the potential that somebody could perceive you as having a conflict of interest, what do? Do you A, make it known immediately that you might have this conflict of interest, or B, do you just kind of let it slide, kind of keep getting the kickbacks, and then when you can't benefit from the conflict of interest anymore, do you call it out and then say that you're so morally justified for calling it out? Like, the answer to that is it's A, right? Like,
well, which way do I get the chips and all the good stuff? Is there a D, like in all of the above? Like, like what the fuck, man? Like, how do you say you sold yourself out, but I have principles and all the bullshit that's happened over the last 2 months with this guy?
Right?
Did you like this? So obviously there's no script to this because I mean, is there? Like, you are supposed to be a writer, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know how you say this with a straight face, and then okay, let's let him, because you said there's a little bit more, so let's let him cook. Let him finish here. All right.
red flag. I decided at that point to never directly work with any studio or adaptation ever again, because in addition to being told that the final edit that comes out in these episodes of what I'm saying is so cut down to what my actual thoughts were, that I end up just feeling like I'm being misrepresented.
After looking into it,
okay, so Daniel,
it's your own YouTube video.
Being the highly principled person that you are, when you first discovered that Amazon was taking your words and editing them down to something you weren't saying, you of course raised this issue, denounced Amazon, and clarified your points, right? Because that would be the moral and principled thing to do.
Well, if they're lying about what you said, he could get it. Well, my question is too, he could get out of his NDA if they were telling lies, right?
I have no idea. I'm assuming their NDA is probably airtight, but
you would think that's why you don't sign that thing, especially after you watch everything and you have negative things to say.
Right? Not if you're a principled individual.
I can't believe that I can't believe that the story is he watched it, had bad things to say, and people came over and said, "Here, sign this and be a team player." That is 100% worse than, "Hey, you can't sign the NDA before you watch it.
I think that's probably what happened.
Well,
He
that's what I thought it was,
signed
right?
before he watched it. Yeah.
I would hope, right? Because the other is so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap!
Farm
wait a
Girl
second.
Rebel,
Wait a
this
second.
is a fascinating comment.
I wonder if he was one of Sanderson's beta readers for the last book. That would go a long way to explain the trash. Well, Farm Girl, you really are in the right place, because we all feel the same way about Wind and Truth. It sounds like you're very very disappointed in Wind and Truth, like most of us here. Myself, Aldan, we're some of the biggest Sanderson fans you could find. Wind and Truth was definitely a hard blow. Again, lots of streams about it here too. But yeah, I would imagine he's the type of person that would be beta reading for Sanderson. He just wants to be around Brandon because Brandon is a shooting star. So I'm going to say whatever he wants me to say, even if this thing's trash. I just want to be near him.
Mm. And Farm Girl Rebel, can you clarify for us when you said beta reader? Are you calling him a beta and a reader, or is that like beta hyphen reader? Just so we're
or it could be both, right? Can it be both?
Yeah,
Does it have to be mutually exclusive? I mean, it could be both.
Could be a pun.
It's probably, dude, like Farm Girl probably hit it both, right? I mean, it's a pun and right. That's like hard thing to do. Exactly. There you go. Why not both? Exactly, both. I like both. We're gonna go with both. She nailed it. All right. Okay. And then hold on. Aren't all the coverage of the stuff? Aren't they on videos? This is a video. This is a video of his. They're his videos. Like, he didn't give them to Amazon to edit and then.
I'm wondering if like Amazon might have released something like stuff from the premiere, or like if he did like a table or something and they that's what he's talking about. I don't think he's talking about his individual episode reviews.
Well, because I would feel like we would remember if there was a big release table like discussion of all the people that watched it and were giving their opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was a big premiere event for season 1, TLM, hell yeah. Right? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'd love to see where he was misrepresented at, because I just don't see it. But what's up, Teresa? Good to see you. Brandon did a lot of shilling for Amazon too. I don't trust Brandon anymore. I was a big fan of Mistborn. Is it Belandris? Belandris? Welcome to the club. Wind and Truth. I don't know if you've read. It sounds like you're more a Mistborn person. I don't know if you've done Stormlight yet, or if you were planning on it, but we've all been quietly sort of seeing these changes with what Brandon's been doing and saying, and the people he's been surrounding him with, and then Wind and Truth was just the straw and the final nail in the coffin for many, for how just not good it was. So moving on though. So yeah, a lot of the same opinion here, Bala. Yep. All right, here we go.
I truly believe that the Wheel of Time show might be one of the most cursed productions, certainly in the history of the streaming era, if not the history of television. And I know what you're thinking. Don't worry, we'll get into the things that went wrong while filming season 1 that I feel terrible for the cast and crew that had to deal with what happened there. But
so we're excuse parade? Is that what we're
Excuse
doing?
parade, yes.
let's focus on what seemed to be the approach to planning out the show from the beginning. I don't know for sure how far ahead seasons of the Wheel of Time were planned. And with those issues that came up we're going to talk about, I'm sure a lot of the planning before they went into season 1 ended up having to be scrapped. But it seems pretty obvious, especially seeing how
Well, since we know for sure a whole script was written about fucking people in an inn with their 2 fingers and making them come everywhere. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the fucking season of television they planned on doing and then was scrapped because Amazon didn't want to have a softcore fucking porn made, like it's Skinamax. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's That sort of threw a wrench in the program, I would think. Don't you think?
Oh, let him go, because he's about to
Okay.
say some ridiculous stuff here.
Okay, here we go.
how much season 3 pivoted, that the Wheel of Time show was not given enough legwork up front to make this adaptation what it needed to be. Just looking at what happened when adapting Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, they spent years before any cameras began rolling on the actual shoot to make sure they were going to be able to actually bring as many of Tolkien's themes, ideas, and characters to life as vividly as possible. I would bet
Pause.
while the Wheel of Time...
No.
Okay. So, Daniel, the Jordan estate was talking about this adaptation in 2016. Amazon and Sony announced this project in 2018. It didn't premiere until 2021. You know, principal photography was
long time.
Ever. Like, what are we? You know, they had our principal photography started in 2020. So, what were they doing from 2016 or 2018 to 2020 if not doing this legwork? It's not that they didn't have time or resources or whatever. It was a skill issue. Rafe Judkins is not a skilled showrunner. That is the problem. It wasn't time. Also, Rafe Judkins is unapologetic about wanting to update and change the themes of this show. He will say this in interviews. He does this every time you stick a microphone in front of his face. The idea that, you know, they didn't get the themes of the Wheel of Time because, you know, of a time issue or a money issue is laughable. It was intentional.
Yeah, well, no, because I remember when the announcement came, it's like, oh shit, man, it's years yet. We had to wait years after the initial announcement that Rafe was the showrunner. And then we got that, and then you know, all you need to know is all you have to do is see the first script.
Yeah,
and you know that they wasted a whole bunch of time on nonsense.
Yeah,
so it's like.
And
that's their own fault. They just the skill issue. Perfectly put.
Yeah. I mean, and Rafe Judkins was with Red Eagle, like during the Sony negotiations. He was the leader in pitching it to Sony. So the idea that there was that it was a time issue is just laughable. That's not the case.
Sorry, I'm putting up a poll. Here we go. The issue is that I am sure Daniel knows the actual reason why the themes were butchered. Wait, what themes? You mean family, DEI, and wait, that's the wrong video. Sorry. Sorry. What was it? What were the themes from the last video? Inclusion, family, and love. Yeah. Sorry. Those are the themes of the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Those themes. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God. All right, moving on.
I'm sure certainly did try and plan seasons ahead. They did not have from season 1 to whatever 8 and
Dude,
9.
it took to stop it. How long did it take to get season 3? Over 2 years.
There was a 14-month gap between them greenlighting season 2 and the release of season 2. So, no, they had plenty of time. The fact that this wasn't planned out through 8 seasons is a skill issue. It is not an Amazon issue or a Sony issue.
You don't just go. It's just season 1, book 1, done. Like, it's not that fucking hard. And you know what? If you run out of time because it's 8, like it comes right back to it. Skill issue. You're right, because you do 8 episodes, you do it right. Your season of television is widely loved, and then you get the fucking carte blanche. You go, well, I actually want 10 episodes, maybe 12, and they're gonna go yes because it's so successful, right? And then if you miss some stuff, you could try and weasel it back in on the back end. Probably for My Other World, probably you just leave it because, you know, you got a lot to tell still. But like, what do you mean? You have the script in the book. You just have to take the lines out and line them up a little different. But you didn't want to do that. You wanted to have Steppen, you know, cry about, you know, a woman, an Aes Sedai from fucking the prequel that nobody wanted to or cared to see on the screen.
Yep.
Oh God. Oh. I don't know, Kane. I don't know. So I've actually had issues with some of the things that Sanderson said that he would have done instead with the script. I completely disagree with what he would have done with Perrin. I know he's been outright he's been out there saying that it wasn't his fault Perrin was messed up. But his actual his take on what Perrin should have done in the first season, I didn't really agree with either. So I don't necessarily agree with
Perrin
that.
did not need to hurt/kill somebody
Perrin,
in the pilot. This is nonsensical.
You know why? Because his whole spoilers, his whole fucking family dies later. It's like, come on now, like, come on, stop it. You know who you focus on? That dragon guy. Oh,
right. The tall ginger kid.
The guy that's supposed to save the world. Let's focus. Maybe we spend some time focusing on that guy. 95 people here. Thank you so much. Hit that like button, guys.
Kicking off, man.
Yeah, man.
Was planned out.
Fucking awesome.
You can feel that watching it now, and it seems insane in hindsight to try and raw dog Robert Jordan's epic, treating it as a show more like Dexter, something you can just get 8 episodes planned out for, get through it, and then come back next year to take on another.
Hey, Daniel,
and move books around.
Do you maybe think that the guy who made his bones doing episodic television like Chuck and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. might be the one responsible for trying to do episodic television with the Wheel of Time? Skill issue, my guy.
This is bullshit. You don't have to plan out 8 seasons. You know what you need to. You know the events you need to go through. If you've read it more times than just when you were 5 and your mom read it to you in bed, right? So, I actually think you do it the completely opposite. You don't plan out 8 seasons. You plan the eye of the world. You plan on doing a really good first season.
Yep.
That's it. And then if that's really good, then you could talk about maybe doing 2 seasons together or whatever, right? Because then you have people locked in because you're a success. So yeah. I don't know. I'd really be interested if you find that Barney Harris thing. Throw it up in my Discord. I'd love to see his comments about why he left.
Contain 100 different characters in a dozen.
You don't. Okay.
100 different characters in a dozen different plots.
Oh, fuck off.
Vividly as possible. I would bet money. Well, the Wheel of Time, I'm sure, certainly did try and plan seasons ahead. They did not have, from season 1 to whatever 8 and 9 was, planned out completely. You can feel that watching it now, and it seems insane in hindsight to try and raw dog.
What? You can't feel shit. What do you mean? They didn't do any of it.
Right? Yeah. No, I can feel that there wasn't a plan, Daniel.
Yeah. They didn't do a single episode of Wheel. Well, like
they did half of an episode.
25 minutes of Wheel of Time, maybe?
Yep.
In 3 seasons? Yeah.
Robert Jordan's epic. Treating it as a show more like Dexter, something you can just get 8 episodes planned out for, get through it, and then come back.
You can! It's real simple. We've done it many times.
I was going to say, if you don't suck at it, like, I would suggest you plan shit out.
Yes.
But if you're good at it, you could also just do season 1 is book 1. Like, it's not like anybody's going to get to to season 4 and be like, man, they didn't bring this up in book 1 or season 1. I'm not going to like this anymore. Like,
well, it's
a skill issue.
It totally is. It's like, look, what are you expecting? It's a brand new show. You need to prove yourself. You know, they're not going to just be like, hey, go ahead, do 18 million episodes. Like, you have to prove to them that you know what you're doing and get them to commit to several seasons so that you can do plan down the line, right? That's actually how we get shit TV, because you plan. It's like, oh well, I'm writing because I'm writing this movie for the sequel, and then the movie sucks because you're writing for the sequel, so you haven't written for the actual movie or episode or season, and then you get to the end of the season and you're, oh, we have our cliffhanger, and then it's like, well, but you never wrote the fucking season. You wrote all the way for your next season, right? For the season you're in.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, it's good to have don't get me, it's good to have a plan, but the plan is right out of the world.
Yep.
Ugh.
Here to take on another. As you're trying to shift and move books around, contain 100 different characters in a dozen different plot lines, that is a recipe for failure. And makes me a little bit surprised that season 3 managed to be the most solid yet, and could indicate that writing strategy did change. Now, I
Disagree.
I mean,
Nothing
season
changed.
3 was the most solid yet in the sense that one of the episodes got a 5, like as opposed to the normal 1 and 2. But like, it wasn't notably better other than that episode.
It's better because like the bar is. It's better because the bar is so fucking low that the fact that like something Wheel of Time squeaked in like one episode, you know, it was better because there was no Wheel of Time in any other episodes. But I still have a real hard time saying season 3 is better because I don't know. I still think there's a discussion to be had that it's not.
That the other 7.5 episodes are so much worse. I don't know, man. I recently rewatched the first episode. Oh my god, I forgot how cringe that was.
What, of season 1?
Yeah.
It's really bad. But I don't know. I think it's a lot closer than people think, and that's because it's fresh in their mind. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm still working with my own in my own head whether I really think season 3 is the best season of this shit show. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
But no, but I get people, everybody that says it is, I get it because of that little chunk of episode 4. And that's the whole reason. It's just that little tiny chunk. Calling it a solid season is a falsehood. It was not a solid season at all. It was still a shit show. It just had a little tiny bit. This little bit. This glimmer of Wheel of Time that showed up in it against its own will.
I could be looking at something that is the result of what happened to screw over season 1. But all right, let's talk about what happened with season 1.
Why is he on a weight bench?
I was going to ask why he has what appears to be 25 pounds on each side of the bar.
He's benching fucking 2 wheels. I think that's the biggest call out of this whole fucking thing. Why are you benching 2 wheels?
Dude,
holy shit.
If for whatever reason I decided to become a lunatic and decide to start filming over there in my gym, you're gonna look like I'm benching.
Dude, I'm gonna have every wheel I have on there.
Right, I'm gonna be putting up 315. Like,
I'm gonna have every wheel I own, and I'm gonna like when I sit up, I'm gonna have sweat dripping off me. I'm gonna have a wife beater on with a drip there, and be like, "Let's talk about Wheel of Time." It's like, what? Oh man, we just hit 100, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button. Thank you. All right, this is wild. Oh,
locations to film in my house, so we're in the basement now. And before we get into this, I'm not trying to say that.
Did he just explain? Wait, did he just explain why he's in the basement?
Yes.
Hold on, I have to see this.
Of what happened to screw over season 1. But all right, let's talk about what happened with season 1. I'm running out of locations to film in my house, so we're in the basement now. And before we get into this,
why are just?
I'm not trying to say that.
Go into a forest or something, like stand in front of a tree and piss, like land. Why is this? Why is this the theme of his autopsy video being in different rooms in his house? Is this the sex dungeon?
Dude, I don't know.
If these issues hadn't happened, season 1 would have been magically great or even as good as season 3. If it hasn't become clear yet, this is an autopsy. This
as good as season 3. Hold on.
I'm trying to.
Are you saying season 3 was good, Daniel?
Oh yes, this is an important thing to remember as well.
Because season 3 was not good, my man.
Nope.
story leading up to, during, and after the Wheel of Time show. But it's not overstating it to say what happened to season 1 of Wheel of Time when it comes to producing a show is like biblically bad, let alone a massive fantasy epic show. Let's break it down. So they are in the middle of shooting the first season of their
Is he really just making excuses? Is that what we're doing?
Yes, he is.
incredibly expensive, multi-hundreds of millions of dollars TV show. And a little known thing called COVID-19 starts spreading across the world. So while they are trying to film
stop.
outside with...
So we know this because Rafe Judkins has said this. Television is filmed in blocks. So in the Wheel of Time season 1, they had 3 blocks. The first block was episodes 1 through 3. The second block was episodes 4 through 6. And the third block was episodes 7 and 8. They were done filming the second block. So they were done with episode 6 when the COVID shutdown happened. So, if this was a scenario where episodes 1 through 6 were good and episodes 7 and 8 were bad, like this would be, maybe a decent excuse. Like, don't get me wrong, episodes 7 and 8 were worse than the first 6 episodes.
Yeah.
But like,
They were.
The first 6 were also terrible.
Yes.
So this excuse
Exactly
doesn't
right.
work. But also, just because something happens like COVID doesn't mean you get a pass.
Yes.
You are then judged by how you overcome
Yes.
the obstacle put in front of you.
Well, perfectly said. Perfectly said. Yeah. It's not like the show was banging it and then you could tell COVID hit and everything fell apart. No. Episode 1 was fucking trash. Episode 2 was fucking trash. 3 and 4, trash. Some of the worst we've ever seen. 3, 4, and 5 are 3, 4, and 5 are some of the worst television I think that's ever been put on film.
7 and 8 are worse than 3, 4, and 5. Like
It's true. It's true. That's what I'm saying, right? So the fact that 3, 4, and 5 are that bad,
yes,
right? And 7 and 8 are atrocious. Fucking the Horn of Valir is under Agelmar's fucking throne.
yeah,
What's that have to do with COVID?
yeah, right.
What does that have to do with COVID? The Agelmar, let's break this down real quick. What does the fact that they did a horse charge to the back of Tarwin's Gap of fucking, why did they do a horse charge into the back of a fucking wall?
Yes,
Why is Amalisa doing Rand's fucking work? Why did Nynaeve die and then get revived by Egwene? Why did Padden Fane stab Loyal with a fucking dagger from Shadow Logoth and Uno and Ingtar, and then they changed it to be not Ingtar, and then they're all alive next season?
yep.
Why is Agelmar dead? Why did Rand do fucking Egwene's accepted test instead of fight Ishmael? Like, these are not, like, what are we talking about? These are not fucking, like, that has nothing to do with COVID. Why is that COVID's fault?
Right.
COVID's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. Sorry. Oh shit. Did I miss? Sorry, what did I do there? I had Josh Cowart. I'm a little behind, but I find it ironic when Wokies bash corps without corporate money, their agenda would have likely gone away years ago. Oh, yeah. It's wild. It's wild. And I saw it was what was the other comment? I saw Mule. What's going on, Mule? Mule's in the house. I lost it, but that's okay. We'll move on. Yeah, it's like, we're so fast to blame COVID on everything, but COVID didn't do any of those things. That's bad writing and bad directing and bad show running. What's up, Max? So, and plus everything you said, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just bullshit. It's the same crutch they've used over and over and over again because they know their show's crap. And wait a second. I thought, so now he's just like, whatever. Like, didn't he just get done saying it was crap? So this is him This is him trying to
justifying
justify why he was.
Yes, it was crap, but this is why it was crap.
And this is why I've gone easy on it, because I felt bad because COVID, right? Okay.
Yes.
To massive groups of people, the world shuts down, and they need to start rewriting their script of a
No, they don't.
fantasy epic to limit how many people can be interacting at once on screen or be in.
Dude, it's not a problem. There was nobody on the screen ever.
Yes. It's not like there were large amounts of people, like, at any point. Like, maybe in the first episode you had some people in the inn, but, like,
There's just as many people in Fall Dar as there are in fucking the stupid mining town.
yeah.
Like, the amount of people did not change. And guess what? Get everybody COVID tested and then seclude them.
Yes.
Guess what?
Also,
COVID doesn't have some better managing tactics so you don't get COVID in the camp.
you're in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking cared.
This guy
Or
is-
true. No, they weren't even there was no they didn't quarantine, did they?
I have no
And
idea.
even if they quarantined together, they weren't stopping you. You're all together. Right? Just whatever. It's all bullshit.
This guy's so gay. He's like a gayer version of Nick Fuentes.
I thought he was. I could have swore he was, but you know. All
in
right.
even one location shooting at a time. Oh my god. And then to make things
Wait, what was that?
That was him showing that the reason season 1 was bad was because of COVID.
Like, stop blaming COVID, okay?
and a little known thing called COVID-19 starts spreading across the world. So while they are trying to film outside with massive groups of people, the world shuts down, and they need to start rewriting their script of a fantasy epic to limit how many people can be interacting at once on screen or be in even one location shooting at a time. Oh my.
Why are you showing? What is this?
This is him showing that season 1 was poorly received because of COVID, and then once COVID stopped, the show got good. That is the justification for this graph. Now, it does not take into account that everybody stopped watching during seasons 2 and especially season 3. So
Wait.
that's why everybody.
But I thought he said he didn't
Yeah,
like
John
season.
Thomas up and lifting.
I thought season 2 and 3 were bad.
Well, apparently okay, so season 2 is either good or bad depending on what his argument is in a given moment, and season 3 is mostly good except when somebody accuses him of calling the show good, and then he's going to get a literal microphone out and scream that he didn't say that.
This guy literally just like admitted at the beginning of this video that he got paid by Amazon to say this was good. Like, why should we believe you about
Aaron,
anything you say, bro?
Aaron, it was because book fans were there for the first and left for the right. So so they left immediately. Yeah, everybody that was, you could see it from the chart, the charts we show all the time, where you had a bunch of people that were interested, then they saw the shitty first 3 episodes, and they all left. That's it. That's it. The number, of course, goes up because you got the same 5 people rating the episodes the same way they're watching the episodes over and over and over again.
God. And then to make things substantially worse, one of the 3 main actors, for a reason we do not know why, ends up having to leave the show. So imagine you've spent months on months of your life as a writer trying to adapt one of the most complex fantasy.
I'm not ready to blame anything on that because I still fully believe that it was something that he was. I believe he was forced out.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions. I remember like Danny saying at one point in time that there was like a thread on 4chan about why he left.
I would still love to know. I hope someday, maybe now that the show's over, Barney Harris will come out and
Say what
say why
happened.
he actually left. If that article's out there that about what was it, a loved one was he had to leave because he had
A loved one died and he got depressed. Joshua Templeton posted it.
So if that's true, I'd love to see that, just to confirm or deny if that's the thing. But you know,
I don't know why this is like such a thing anyway.
they could have figured something out. Like they could have. I don't know.
Ew.
It's one of those. I'm trying to think. Like
I don't know why this was so hard. Like,
just put a guy in a wig that looks like him. Shoot him from the back.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they've even gone so far as to like they reshot the film or the scene where he was leaving. Like they talked about this. So just literally say, "Oh, he's too sick to come with us." Like you've already reshot the scene. Like
Yeah, or something. Yeah, because I'm trying to, I'm trying to play it in my head what Matt does in Faldara, which is just not much. Is it? No,
no.
Matt's just sick. Yeah, just have him be the dagger. And yeah, it makes it a little clunky when you get into season 2 and you get it, but you can overcome it.
I was gonna say, like, so the idea that it's going to be weird if we get Matt on track if he just like, the new guy comes in and he shows up the first episode. He's like, I got on a horse and rode as fast as I could as soon as I heard you were gone.
Well, see,
like,
here's
is that going to be any more jarring than
it's so
fucking
simple.
Loyal being alive? Like
they've all you just have Moraine say, I thought I cleansed him, but I didn't. So we had to fucking put him in hospital under the care of Yellow Sisters until we can like find a way to get the Shadowloga taint out of him.
Yeah.
And that's it.
He's too ill to make the journey.
Yep. And he's being cared for by freaking Aes Sedai or something. And that's it. Done. I don't know. It's all bullshit.
Yep.
Prophet IMDb removed the interview and replaced it with a preview of his new show. Shit. That sucks. Okay. Well, if it's I'm gonna have to try and look around, see if I can find it. If it was on the internet, it's still out there somewhere. Hopefully. All right, here we go.
Books ever into a season of television. Then in the middle of it, you're told that the worst pandemic of your life is happening. And in the middle of trying to do those rewrites, one of the main characters who you've built stories around, probably even try to bring in some of the personality of like later books that fans know about, characters love, to work on that and interact with other characters more earlier on to earn it. They're gone, and it's too late to recast. And
it doesn't. What do you mean? No. What are you talking about? All you gotta do is get through season 1.
Yeah.
Like, what do you?
What is it like? Where?
All you have to do is get through season 1, and he did all of season 1. He got to a perfect point where he could have just wrote him out and said, like you said, like Alex just said, just say he's too sick. He's too sick.
You could have even done a wink at the screen, like he's sick. There's a big pandemic going on. Like,
yeah. You could have had a whole thing. Like you could, like. No, this is all bullshit. It could
have just been like Smallville where shit happens and they don't bother explaining it and they just go along and it's almost better because of that.
Well, what does Barney Harris have to do with season 2?
I know, right? Like all of these are problems don't have anything to do with the actor.
No, it's
these are writing problems.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be able to shoot any more footage.
No. Well, then can we at least pull up here and get some
He had plenty of footage.
dinner?
Fuck off.
Because I like to be wined and dined after I've been.
You're wrong.
So he's just going to disappear in the middle of the season. Oh.
This thing that Greene does where he laughs when he knows his argument is bad is really bizarre. Like it's
very low T.
It's a tell. Chad, is Steve gone or am I gone? I think Steve must be frozen because I'm still seeing comments.
This guy definitely sits when he pees.
Sorry, I'm back, I think.
You're good. You're back.
God, I hate that. I'm so pissed me off. They literally did the worst thing possible for Matt. That's the truth of it. Is you made him a coward instead of just saying he's too sick. Like it doesn't matter. Like you're acting like this. This is why this excuse makes no sense. You're acting like something happened with Matt in the next 2 episodes. Episode 6, instead of just leaving him too sick in the tower to travel, you had them travel. You shot him coming out, and then, like, I see, and that's why I also don't buy this. If you're not shooting any footage, you had that footage shot of him abandoning them and staying in Tar Valon.
Or they just CGI'd him.
Well, I guess they could have done that. Yeah, but still. Well, right. So even if you CGI'd him, then that's your fault. You made a terrible choice.
Yes.
Yep.
You just too weak. That's it.
Yep.
It's really not that hard.
skill issue. This is a team of professional writers. Need to be better than that.
I don't know why he has such a hard time saying that. Like, they just did something like wrong.
Yule's shitty MS Paint memes. It was COVID's fault.
That's incredible.
God, Yule, like, why are you so good with these things?
Oh God, I love you, man. Good stuff. All right, moving on. Oh shoot. All right, here we go.
Holy shit. That is, I mean it. I have never heard of a worse thing happening in terms of a 1-2 punch.
Nobody's ever left a production in the middle of it before, guys.
Man, let me tell you about a little
Man,
show called House of Cards.
Hey, what about Gladiator when the main character died in the middle of it, and they had to figure out what to do.
Yeah,
he died, and they figured it out. You could tell that it's a little bit clunky, but you could tell they figured it out. And when everybody heard what happened, they're like, "Oh shit! Well, that's yeah, it's a little clunky, but we're gonna let it go, and it's pretty actually good for what you had to work with."
Yeah, I mean, they didn't the story didn't suffer for it. I mean, it kept in the crap vein that it was going on.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, Gladiator figured it out. So what the hell? Yeah, like this is yeah, you're
Spartacus.
Just, no, yeah, Spartacus. That's another one. Spartacus. Yeah, Whitehead. Yeah, you lost Spartacus. You lost the main character.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, it was sad. Yeah, he was definitely a better Spartacus, I think. But yeah, it still went on. But
for the production of a show, that is biblically bad. Again, I'm not trying to say season 1 of Wheel of Time would have been perfect. There were baffling decisions made early on in the show, but I know for a fact things even earlier in the season had to be edited and changed due to the sudden pivot that
things had to be edited and changed because he left.
Sudden pivot? What do you? God, shut up! This is
why would you change anything?
Why are we in his basement? Why are we filming everywhere? Does it get to the part with his cat yet?
We've already had the one cat scene.
I feel like someone needs to do welfare check on that poor guy. He needs to get rescued.
I just I don't know what could have changed because he left from what the previous episodes. That doesn't make. I would love to know what the hell we're talking about because I don't see it. What did you change previous?
I'd be fascinated to know. Because if you shot a bunch of shit and you made him darker with the dagger, well, that's worse. You made it worse.
Well, how did you go back and do it if you didn't have him to go do it?
Yes.
So that makes no sense. He's not there to do research to change what he did because he left.
Yeah, so all you could do was remove stuff or ADR it. There's nothing you could do here.
No, I don't. What it comes down to is I would like to see receipts and proof and what scenes we're talking about, because and then how do you know? Like that's what I like, because I'm having a hard time believing it because he's not there to change the material.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how do you change the material knowing he's going to leave suddenly and abruptly? What?
Yep.
You can't. You're like, I don't get it, but whatever.
Happens around mid to late mid of the first season, and then there are huge ramifications from a writing standpoint.
Hey,
from
Steve,
there
you're
that
doing
lead into the
numbers
second
here,
season.
man.
Now,
You're
I'm
up
less
over
forgiving.
100.
Am I?
Thank
What
you
happened
guys
to
for
my?
watching.
Thank you very much. Oh, my screen froze when I lost my connection there. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you all. I've seen some new faces too. SNG, is it Yuko? The season 1 Matt was probably the only true fan of the books, and he left because he was too disgusted with what they want to do with the story. I hope that's true. I really do. I don't know that it is, but I really hope that that's true. What's up, Zach? Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Zach.
Got a complete rewrite after Barney Harris left. That's worse.
Why? At that point, why? I don't know. I don't. I don't believe it. I don't believe you.
Yeah, and if that is the case, they did a really bad job. So there's no excuse to be made here.
I don't believe it. Why? The cat's already out of the bag, right? So what's the rewrite? Was he going to come and be sick? Like, I don't like. And if it is, give me some details so I can believe you.
Yep.
liking it a little bit more than season 1 because it feels like they could have course corrected a little better. But especially on rewatch now, it does have some of the seeds in it of season 3's quality. But before we get into
No, season 3 is not fucking quality. Stop it. Season 3 was ass. Okay? Like no. Season 3 was still ass. I'm tired. I'm so tired of all this. Well, season 3 was good. Season 2 sucked, and season 1 also sucked. Well, when season 2 came out, you were telling us how great season 2 was, but season 1 was ass. And when season 1 came out, it was great. Stop it. I don't believe. No. Season 3 was still shit.
Yep.
to the actual story that was brought to us in that
Only there's no excuses to fuck. There's no COVID excuses, and you still try to use a COVID excuse. Even on season 3, it comes up. Hell, he's doing it now. Right? We got the COVID excuse happening right now for season 3. Stop it.
season. I want to find common ground with Wheel of Time fans across the spectrum. Whether you loved all 3 seasons, which is absolutely valid. If you hated all 3, which I also can understand. If you're in the mixed middle between like myself, we all know that the problem is not the source material. If a perfect storm happened and you had the best writers who were given enough resources and plenty of time to plan out an adaptation for why, you could absolutely do it.
They
but that
had
wasn't the case. And at the
hundreds of millions of dollars and 5 years between 2016 and 21. Season 3 came out in 2024. They had most of a decade to get this right.
Mm-hmm.
It was a skill issue, my guy.
Yeah, it's definitely not the source material. Exactly. There you go. That quality. Just look at the casting of Avienda versus the book description. They were so wrong for what they did to my girl. Yeah, almost anybody can name their favorite character, and they can say that they're disappointed by what they did to him or her.
Yeah.
the end of this, I'm unfortunately going to have to get into how what we have here is kind of the worst possible case scenario for the Wheel of Time franchise going forward. And that's not to try and throw everyone involved in the production under the bus. I can't say what I know for sure because I don't want to get no one in trouble, but
Dude, throw the whole production on the bus. They suck.
my
I was
God,
gonna
when
say-
you have one studio, it's annoying. When you
What's that?
Okay, let him finish this sentence because I got a list here that I wanna read out when he finishes this sentence.
Okay.
have 2 trying to work together, things can become insane. But that grace being given, there
Okay,
are decisions on display in the
so
first 2 seasons.
let us go over a list of the shows that Sony has worked with a different studio on in the streaming era. Are you ready?
I am ready. Sorry.
Okay. Outlander, For All Mankind, The Crown, The Boys, Cobra Kai, Night Agent, and House of Cards. Those are all streaming shows that Sony has done with either Netflix, Amazon, or Disney. And that does not include the network shows that they did with regular over-the-air channels or cable channels. That would include Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. So,
Oh man, those shows suck.
all right. So the idea that,
Totally
oh no, Sony and Amazon couldn't get along. Bullshit. These studios get along all the time.
Where are you getting that? Where is he getting this expert opinion that they weren't getting along? Where is he getting this from? I need, give me receipts and sources. Receipts and sources, sir.
Yep.
Because I don't believe you. It happens all the time. All right, here we go.
Seasons that now are absolutely baffling. Maybe, possibly, they could have been justified or retconned in future seasons, as we already saw season 3 trying to do. But now, with the show ending exactly where it did, it leaves it in as bad as light as possible. Season 3 was good enough that I will be coming back to it for a long time.
What if in just seasons 1 and 2 we didn't do stupid shit that needed to be retconned? Like the decision to make Moraine, her first monologue didn't need to be that way.
Nope.
Such that you had to retcon it here.
Seriously.
Well, and then you didn't even commit to your retconning, right?
Yes.
Like we try. It's like the biggest one that stands out to me with the retconning is, well, the baffling and pathetic attempt to include Sidene.
Yeah. That's
You
the
let
thing now.
Moraine say Sidene once, and Rand says, "Shut up, bitch. Sidene is the same as Sidar. Move the fuck on." It's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Why are you even doing that? I don't see a bunch of retconning happening in season 3. I don't know. Do you? I don't
No.
see it. I
No.
think that's bullshit.
Yep.
And I hate this freaking like episode too.
All I see is I don't know. Perrin didn't talk to a single fucking wolf. I guess we're retconning Perrin being a wolf brother. He can he's just a sniffer. He can see far for unknown reasons. Right? Because what about that? Sorry, I don't know what is going on with my connection. I'm gonna try something though.
Oh, that was a Red Eagle thing?
What was? There we go. Okay, sorry. Am I back?
They hired Rafe. Wow.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I just tried to do something. Hopefully my connection is a little better. I don't know why I keep having this connection. It only happens like I don't know. Whatever. We're moving on. Yeah. So, yeah.
Rewatch and enjoy. That was genuinely in my
Season 3 is still an abomination. It wasn't good. If your opinion is that season 1 and 2 were bad, season 3 is the same thing, only you have like 15 minutes. That's it. Like it's
opinion, a good season of television. But where I personally
it's not a good so no, you're it's not a good season. Somebody told me that he said it wasn't a good season of television, so he's changed his mind again?
You gotta let it roll, man.
All right.
He's just
the Wheel
feelings.
of Time failed to garner a larger audience.
Go ahead, sorry.
This is like feelings and hallways for him. He has to go find all the hallways. He needs a support animal.
Darth Malicious. Yeah, I think they could have probably done that, and it would have been great. Even if it close to word for word. And none of it. It could have been just fine. Like they just
audience is with Amazon, because you have to remember that the majority of people who show up to watch this show need to not be hardcore book fans for it to be a financial success. Now,
disagree. Hard disagree.
Okay, so let's talk about this. You are correct. You cannot have your entire audience be book fans.
Mm-hmm.
But your next, like if your book fans are your core, you then expand outwards. And your next bubble then is fantasy readers, because there's a whole huge group of fantasy readers that have not read The Wheel of Time for one reason or another.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because it's a huge time investment.
Yes.
Those people would very likely be willing to watch your Wheel of Time show if you could tell the story in a tight 64 hours over the course of a decade. So then you would say, oh, okay, well then my next audience should be people who just like fantasy and action shows. Like this should have been huge, but for whatever reason they decided they didn't like that portion of the audience and wanted to go and get a different audience of people who like Bridgerton and gay race communism. And that audience didn't show up. And the show got canceled. So the argument of, you need to change the story because you can't just have hardcore book fans, nonsense. You didn't need to make all the changes that were made. Keep the story the same. You will have an audience. Anybody that says you have to change the story to garner an audience is displaying a lack of faith in the source material. Because if your position is, we have to change so much of this fantasy show because it won't garner a big enough audience because the fantasy audience isn't big enough, then don't make fantasy television.
Then if it's that bad, don't adapt it. Like that's a dumb argument.
I muted myself. You're like it was like Aaron said, hundreds of millions, 100 million book fans, right?
Yeah.
Those are the people that bring in the other people. Your book fans watch it, they go, "Wow, this is great." Then you get word of mouth coming in, pulling in other people, going, "Hey, this show is really good. You should watch it." Right? You have to start with your base, and you have to please your base, and then, like you said, it expands outward. But you just decided to throw your base in the trash.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, how many times did somebody, I had 3 or 4 people ask me, hey, you really like this book series? Is it worth watching the show?
Hell
And
no.
I went, fuck no.
Yep.
Or
There's somebody.
even
There's
the sadder thing is, like, I was talking to my brother, like, oh, you should read this. And he's like, I watched the show. I'm never going to read the books now. What's the saddest thing is, like, people will see this and it's like, I found this bumper sticker that says, don't judge a book by its adaptation.
Well, like, no, there's somebody at work currently that is a fantasy fan and started reading Wheel of Time, and they asked me about the show because they know and I'm like, no, don't waste your time. It's just yeah, don't do it. and that's what's happened, right? And the people that should be going, oh yeah, it's great, you should check it out. After it's great. It's sort of it could it could have been a cool thing for new readers to experience it side by side with the show that was accurate, right? But no, we can't do that. We got fucking bullshit. So I made the mistake of recommending it before episode 1. That grocery store acquaintance won't be watching anything I recommend anymore. Yep.
And my mom's like, I was talking to her, like, I went for a walk before coming here, so I'm kind of sweaty, but I was talking to my mom, and she's like, why are you guys still watching that? It's like, it's been 5 years, Lisa.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
I get fly.
You want to make those people happy so that they spread the word and gather you those fans, but they can't be the sole source you rely on to try and make your hundreds of $million investment pay off. And
well, there's millions of book fans, so it would have been a good place to start. Just saying.
Amazon essentially abandoned Wheel of Time's marketing. Here's a true fact that is
Amazon doesn't advertise for anything.
Okay, but also Amazon has known that this show has been dead since season 2.
Yep.
Okay, so as soon as season 2's Nielsen watch minutes came in under 3 billion, this show was dead. They allowed season 3 to continue because it was 85% of the way through post-production or something like that. So season 3 there was never going to be a renewal for a season 4. So why would you pay to advertise something that you know is dead? There's no point to it. It was already dead. This is just a ridiculous excuse. Yes, Nilnihi. Yes, the modern audience also failed this. I'm going to say it failed the show, though.
Yeah, I have a really fascinating thing. I was looking through my phone and I found some like screenshots I took of this fascinating Twitter thread that was made during season 2 somewhere, or not Twitter thread, it was Tumblr. And it was like this Tumblrina like complaining like, why doesn't Tumblr absolutely be obsessed with this show? It has literally everything Tumblr loves. And I think her words were Mew Mews, it has the Mew Mews, that has Blorbos, sad wet cat boys. And I had to look up what all this stuff is because I was like, this is retard speak. But I think she has a great point. And it was funny, she made that just sort of like thing on Tumblr for a while about making PowerPoint presentation memes of like everything. And I was looking through it and I'm like, you know what? She has a point. So it's like, if they give them everything they want, yet it still fails. What's wrong with this? I have some feelings on this and I'm going to see if I can maybe make a video with my lovely husband here about that. But we're working through the complex emotions that come with like ripping this carcass apart and seeing what killed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Vendel, you crushed it, buddy. Making a few hundred weirdos on Twitter and Reddit your target audience is not a winning strategy.
Boom. Yep. Sorry.
It wasn't
Sorry,
like
Beck.
that's the funny thing too. Like the Tumblr chicks I liked, and they didn't like it that much either.
No, nobody liked it. Everybody checked out. All right, here we go.
Not a single cast member to promote season 3 of The Wheel of Time went on a major television network to do an interview, and instead they were relegated to podcasts and YouTube channels.
Nobody goes on network television anymore. Never.
No, I mean, when I was in like film
is
school,
the target demographic of your show 70-year-old boomers? Like,
yeah,
no, right? Like they just straight up tell you, like, you don't advertise in like legacy media. Like, you go to the podcasters and you find people like Daniel Greene, pay him some money, and you get him to promote your stuff.
Well, you also want to know something. There were look at all these interviews for season 3. go look for season 2. They didn't even do this for season 2.
Yeah,
no.
They didn't have a bunch of people that go to a bunch of YouTube channels and get a whole bunch of interviews going out for season 1 and 2. They did more. They actually he's actually wrong. They did more advertising for season 3 than they did for any other season of the show. They just did it with like, well, 1 subscriber YouTube channels.
Yep.
Literally.
Why are you giving interviews to his YouTube channel that's got 1 subscriber? You might as well be talking. You might as well be letting a guy interview nobody, because nobody's gonna watch that shit. So, like, if you like, they did. Like, am I wrong? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember them doing this even this much for season 1 and 2. So, yeah, they didn't advertise to it, but I don't see them doing a bunch of I don't see commercials all over the place for Reacher or the Terminalist.
I know they don't really advertise that way.
The streaming show Netflix doesn't advertise. You know, shows just
Netflix
show up on Netflix. It's
advertises
like
every once in a while. You'll get a Netflix.
Rare, right? I mean, you'll get a trailer.
Yeah, maybe for like Star Wars, but you're talking like the 5 to 10 biggest shows in a given year, not the 98th biggest show in a year. Like
On X, okay, John, you're killing me.
Oh, I know. Like, there's a lot of like advertising in Hollywood. I believe they put it up there. I mean, the last time I went down there, we were like balls deep in like Rings of Power shit, and I'm like, gross. I'm so glad. I used to live in Hollywood too. I used to live on the corner of Sunset and Highland, and that was crazy.
John, I'm gonna. If you can you throw it to my Discord somewhere, man? Because I can't find it.
you can throw it to me as well.
Here we go.
That is a decision from a marketing level, and kind of showed me early on they weren't believing much beyond season 3. You have Rosamund goddamn Pike, and
Who fucking cares about Rosamund Pike?
55-year-old lesbian Democrats care about Rosamund Pike.
Who cares? Rosamund Pike is a D-list fucking actress.
Yes.
Rosamund Pike
She
has
has
had
done nothing.
2 commercially successful projects. She did Gone Girl back in the 90s, and she did the Bond movie back in the 90s, and she did Gone Girl in 2013. The idea that a Wheel of Time audience is going to give a single fuck about Rosamund Pike is one of the dumbest assumptions I have ever seen a studio make.
Like, who cares about Rosamund Pike? That attitude is what ruined the show, because we had to make Kate Fleetwood is such a great actress. We have to keep Leandrin here forever.
Look at that cat. Like, he's giving him the side eye. He's like, shut up, bitch.
God, it pisses me off. Yeah, she was Christmas. It was one of the bad ones with Pierce Brosnan. She was Christmas or something, right?
Pardon you?
Those are the worst.
Pierce Brosnan Bonds movies are the best Bonds movies.
I said one of the. I said one of.
Connery, you're nothing.
Okay.
No. I like me some GoldenEye, but I forget which one it was. I didn't.
Die Another Day, I think.
Was it Die? I didn't particularly like Die Another Day, but you know, I like Pierce Brosnan as Bond. Like,
did not put her on Seth Meyers, Jimmy Kimmel.
Who?
They don't do that. Why would they?
You know why, Daniel? Because nobody ever go, oh, what is this show? I've never heard of this show before because it sucks. Are they putting? Is Chris Pratt doing the rounds for Terminal List? Maybe he is. I don't know. But Chris Pratt is also fucking Star-Lord.
I know, right?
And sold it was in front of $1 billion movie. What has Rosamund Pike done lately? Oh, that's right. She's now going to be a low-grade villain, and now you see me 3.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about it. You know what? I might owe her an apology. Now you see me
back. Have her make the case that.
Well, she's only in the 3rd one.
Oh, she's not in the first 2?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, she's an addition to this season. Is like I don't know. She's the addition to the 3rd one, like the one that shouldn't be made, because I don't know why they're making another Now You See Me, but you know. Yeah, she's not in the she's a new addition to the cast, yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe there's some mixed reviews, but we found our stride. Not once. And while trailers were dropped on YouTube and I heard reports of them occasionally being seen elsewhere, Amazon and Sony seem to be pulling out their marketing budgets early. And what's crazy to me is the worst reviewed consistently and less popular Rings of Power has been renewed. And this is like a sneaky dagger.
What?
Stop with this excuse. Guys, Rings of Power has a guaranteed contract. Rings of Power is the sort of catastrophic failure that would doom any other studio.
Why
But
doesn't
that-
he know this?
But that doesn't mean Wheel of Time isn't also a disaster.
But why doesn't he know this? It's like, how many billion? Are you that eager to throw billions of dollars away and admit you're an embarrassment? Like, billions, like $1 billion they spent on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna be like, oh well, nobody watched it. Fuck it, we'll trash it.
See Hostiles. That was
$1 billion. And that's hey, Earth to Daniel. Just when you go, hey, have you seen that? When you go for brand recognition right now, and you say Lord of the Rings, if I stood up a wall of 10 people and say, hey, have you heard of Lord of the Rings? All 10 of them are going to raise their hands up because of the movies. Have you heard of Wheel of Time? Maybe half. Because it's a different audience. Now, I'm not saying Wheel of Time doesn't have a large audience of its own, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings has basically a trilogy that people call the greatest trilogy of all time.
Yep. Yeah, Thumb Maryland, that's exactly what this is. This is motivated reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I thought I missed a super chat. I didn't.
Oh,
All right. Hit that like button. 106. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here.
That's working its way.
What's up?
When did you hear you talking about?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
You can play.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
no. Just when you're done, I just want to talk to you about.
Okay. All right. Is it an emergency?
No.
Okay.
In
Sorry.
the eyes of Water Crime. Because I remember when the details around the deal with the Tolkien estate for Amazon to bring Rings of Power to life came about, and they seem to have tried to scrub this from the public, but it's still like all but confirmed heavy rumors out there that they're committed to a minimum of 5 seasons.
What? So you know this, so why are you... What? So why are you baffled that they renewed it? Because you just fucking said it. Like,
You have
what?
to make it like it's like numbers of minutes, right? So they're trying to think of ways to do it.
I don't like you know. So why are you puzzled? Wheel of Time doesn't have anything to prop it up.
I know.
It's like even House of the Dragon is being propped up by the good 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. Everybody who checked it out everybody checked out House of the Dragon because they're like, well, I wonder if it's going to be a shit show like the second half of Game of Thrones, or if it was going to be good like the beginning, right? Like those shows had stuff to build themselves up.
Yeah.
Wheel of Time doesn't, except for the fan base that you shit all over.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Invested way more into the Rings of Power, and
Yeah, they did. What I
Who
wonder
cares?
why,
So
Daniel.
are you trying to just blame like the existence of Rings of Power for the like cancellation of this? I don't know what you're saying. Like,
If product A is making money and product B is losing tons of money, but you can't get out of it, you don't get rid of the money making product A. That's not how corporations operate. Ugh.
Hold on. This is. Hold on. What percent book accuracy? We were so close to greatness. It just made me laugh. I'm sorry. Oh God. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Back to this. This is wild, man. I don't like. Did he watch this back?
I have no idea.
Because it's like, ugh. I don't even know.
like who's this video for?
Oh.
He feels like he's trying to convince himself, like, I can't believe that I took money from Amazon and to make all these shitty videos. I have no credibility. Like there was that weird sexual harassment stuff, and now is this interview to make me look better? I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know, but Paul, I agree. Yeah, Castlevania was like 1.4 million per episode. Imagine an animated Wheel of Time that doesn't have claymation CGI shitty ass Trollocs. I added the shitty ass, but you know, Or hey, how many fades were in season 3, by the way?
0.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Point zero.
Sorry, we forgot what fades were. So not only are there no Drakkar, there's no fades, there's no, yeah. Oh God. All right, moving on. Jesus.
Now that they are sinking these insane budgets into 2 shows, one they can't seem to be able to pull out from, well, the other's going to end up on the chopping block. And then finally, Amazon and Sony themselves did essentially 0 favors behind the scenes between seasons to garner any public support.
I love this, by the way. This is a 5-minute interlude of Daniel Greene airing his personal grievances with Audible and Kindle.
This is funny. I've been listening to this all week. Well, my husband's like, we're trying to how do we take this on? And I'm like, this is
he's
fascinating, falling apart video.
Like I don't. Okay, so
he's signing on to do these post show.
Go ahead. Sorry.
He's about to go into. I think it's this section. He's going to go into a little bit here about how Amazon pissed off all of the fantasy readers by their unfair business practices to authors, and that is why people didn't show up for season 3.
No,
you got to watch it, man. You got to watch it.
Okay, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna try something real quick just to fix my connection. Okay. If I lose it, then I'll be. Well, actually, I'm not. I've been semi-stable. I'll fuck with it after. Right, I haven't poofed off at all, right?
No.
Nope, you've been good.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Interviews where they ended up editing me to not actually represent what I was saying some of the time, where I was also asked to, quote, be a team player, which I'm a critic. That's unethical as hell to say to me. Or even the fact that Hello Future Me, Tim, got an email essentially asking for positive coverage. Holy crap. And
wait, what was that?
Daniel Greene is ethical.
I'm a critic.
Yeah, season 1. Remember, don't think about season 1. Just don't think about it. Hey, just checking to see you got my email, see your thoughts below. When you were saying reviewing / reacting to the show title, does this refer to episode 1 of Rings of Power? You have put the live date September 2nd, which is the date it airs. However, I'm to do a breakdown. I will need a few days film, edit, video, audience. If I'm to do this, then Amazon has no veto power other than to say regards. I don't know. What is this showing?
Apparently that Daniel Greene did not feel the need to post his version that he got of this. I'm assuming. I think he's just saying that Amazon does some shady things with reviewers, but he also Hello Future Me did the right thing and made this public.
Yeah, this is somebody else saying he was Amazon wanted me to pay for these things, but if we want my audience to think this is real, it's gonna take me a few days and all of this other stuff. And I get you guys don't get veto power over what I'm saying. And I was like, he shows it so fast, it's we never stop to pause it. So not his email.
Yeah, well, So that's okay. That's why I went back.
He says it's Tim Hickson who got it.
But yeah, it's just whatever. Just okay. Whatever.
The fact that Hello Future Me, Tim, got an email essentially asking for positive coverage. Holy crap. And Amazon, one of the biggest distributors of goods in the world, never even managed to get merch together to properly start profiting off a show that was on its 3rd season after even more years of being out. We never saw Amazon implement any of their tremendous
rights to it.
They don't have the rights for it, and there's not an audience there. I don't know what to say to you, sweetie. Nobody's watching this. And you can't say it's going on for years when we take how many years to make the first season. We wait 2 years, the second season, and the same. It's come on.
He's I don't know. Stop the Rings of Power Wheel of Time equivalents. Just stop. The equivalents you should be making is Reacher to Wheel of Time. They have the same budget. They have the same seasons aired. They have the same release schedule almost, or the same amount of seasons and all that. So I don't, I'm tired of the comparison to Rings of Power to Wheel of Time just because they're fantasy shows.
It's not the same.
That's where they end. Reacher is a closer to. I was looking at an old stream. It's a better streaming show to compare to Wheel of Time on every level than Rings of Power. The only reason people compare Wheel of Time to Rings of Power is because it's fantasy. That's the only reason. Everything
Well-
else is different about the productions.
They also do it because it's the one thing they can compare it against that Wheel of Time looks better in some categories. Like, don't get me wrong, Rings of Power is a more catastrophic failure. But Rings of Power, even in its terrible season 2, did almost double the numbers of Wheel of Time season 2. Like, let's keep this in perspective here.
Yeah. And
Yep.
it's like, no offense, it's like this guy, like they spent so much more money on acquiring like Rings of Power and whatnot. It's like, of course they're gonna spend more money to promote it. Like, shut up. They have to
Just
make
that
money
right there.
back.
That's it right there. That's enough. They spent the amount of money they spent on Rings of Power. That's all you need to know. They've invested too much to just cut it. It's just simply as that. On top of all the other things you said.
Industries to try and actually crank up the success of this show, which is even stranger because when this adaptation was first announced, they ended up screwing over a bunch of artists who were already licensed to make Wheel of Time content. Yeah, I still remember that happening, where people whose livelihood depended on making merch at conventions and things.
As many of you are aware, my artistic license for product art and Wheel of Time book series came to an April. New ownership due to Amazon. I'm allowed to sell the rest of my stock. Thus, your ability to purchase Wheel of Time art from me closed dark at midnight on October. Making Halloween. Just before the license is done, I wanted to let everybody know that it's still available on the website. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, as far as I understand it, what happened was the Jordan estate still has the rights to all the merchandise. That wasn't sold to Red Eagle. But the issue is, if somebody decided they were still going to make merch kind of off on their own, it had the chance of being close enough to the merchandise of the show that it would be almost looked at as show merchandise. And so they sent this out. Like, I don't even know if this is really enforceable, but it was basically just a way to intimidate people into doing it. Yeah. So yes, this was shitty, but it's not like Amazon was going to start ripping out heron marked blades that were going to save this show.
Well, they didn't.
Yeah. Like, I don't even think they had the rights to.
I mean, how many other like fan artists get licensing agreements? I mean,
well, I look. I would love to know how much money we're really making on all this Wheel of Time art. But it's not. Look, it's a small thing. Like, it sucks to the person that can't do the art. Great, or just do the art. Just do the art and call it brand.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna whatever. They didn't. Well, they didn't. Amazon didn't do anything for merch for Wheel of Time. They didn't care about merch.
Thank God.
Who cares?
Yeah, right? If they even had the rights.
I think they said Ice and Eye rings because we've seen someone's on like Twitter.
Yeah, but that was that Giles.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why would you waste your money? Okay.
Doing with the show's done. But putting all of that aside,
man, did you see that transition? That was artsy. Look at this.
Aside,
you can tell
by far more the face.
He's been working on his editing skills because everybody left.
Prime wanted their rights, and now, they didn't do anything with it in the show.
Wow, did you see that? That was
by far more
tricky.
The face of the Wheel of Time show was continuing to piss off not only book readers as a whole, but specifically fantasy fans.
Oh, okay. This is where he starts talking about Audible and Kindle.
Oh my God.
Their own Kindle ebooks by implementing unfair, consumer-unfriendly practices. Also now handing over mass AI narration to publishers to eventually force all of us as audiobook consumers to be forced to listen to. But third, and probably most relevant, getting publicly called out by Brandon Sanderson for their terrible royalty deals on Audible. The guy who helped finish writing The Wheel of Time, which of course you can't blame The Wheel of Time production for, but what one arm does is of course still going to end up affecting the other. I've heard of
I cannot emphasize enough that both Audible and Amazon Prime have done nothing but go up in number of memberships since this happened. So the idea that this has anything to do with the success of the show is nonsensical. But also, as an ethical person who has his principles, I'm a little surprised that Daniel didn't acknowledge that he has, 2 books currently on Audible or Kindle. So, from an ethical standpoint, that conflict of interest should probably be verbalized. When he says fantasy fans are mad about it, what he actually means is he's mad about it.
I still have a highly active Audible account, so I'm not really that mad.
Yep.
I listen
Yes,
to
so
Dungeon
we-
Crawler Carl every day to
Hell
make
yeah.
myself feel better on Audible. Easton is now listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl on
Hell yeah.
his own Audible account because I love Audible.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's-
authors. I love Audible. I get to listen to all my favorite books on there.
Would I probably pay you $2 more a book? Yeah. but-
Probably, yeah. But, you know,
Mhm.
create your own listening service.
Yep.
Sorry. I mean, do you know the reach you get by being on Audible on Amazon? You get massive reach.
I
You're
don't know, I
getting
don't
you're getting
think
sales
it's
of books that you
serious,
probably
but I
never
know
would have
that
seen
way.
being on Amazon that reaches all over the world.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
kids
saying.
get
So,
like downloaded a lot because they're like 60 hours long.
Yep.
yeah, it's one of those. Your book probably wouldn't be read by anybody if it didn't have the reach of Audible. So, if you
Yeah.
don't like it, then don't put your book on there. Sell it by yourself. I don't know what to say. All right, moving on.
To verge into too big to succeed territory.
Yeah, and then the laughable part of his books are still on there. Yeah.
But not all of the blame lies with the studios. Most of it, I'd argue, but not all of it, because the conversation around Wheel of Time.
Wrong.
Well, thank God. We're finally going to talk about the production team and how they have screwed it up.
Are we? Are we
That's what
actually?
That's what you're going to
Even for, like,
talk
casual
about, right,
fans
Daniel?
Online, due to the culture war bullshit that it got
Wait, what? Hold on.
unpleasant to have, even for like casual fans online.
Hold on. I gotta move it up back a
Culture
little
war
bit.
bullshit.
Did I argue? Not all of it, because the conversation around Wheel of Time became so unpleasant to have, even for like casual fans online, due to the culture war bullshit that it got swept up in. And the crazy part of that to me is at
Pause.
least, the Wheel of Time show wasn't
So-
woke. Not only did it-
Okay, fuck off.
The Wheel of Time show wasn't woke.
I love that he, like, with a straight face, he was like, with the culture war bullshit that the show got swept up in. I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. The show did get swept up in the culture war bullshit when they cast according to published racial quotas or decided to, update the gender themes for modernity according to the showrunner. Like, yes, you're right. It got caught up in the culture war bullshit, but it's not like it was innocently standing there puttering along and two doofuses fighting like grabbed it and yanked it into a fight. It threw the first punch in the culture war
Here,
bullshit.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just I'm just gonna here. I just want to show everybody something. If you were you saying something, Lady B? Just I
was
need a
just
second
saying,
to bring
I'm
this
like,
up.
why are we arguing that it wasn't woke? We have Race saying like, oh, if you guys don't like this, we'll just make everyone gay.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, and I wanted the gay main character, so I made a
Mhm.
character that wasn't gay, so she could be the main character. And also, oh, she's not the main character, but I don't care because I wanted to have a gay main character. Oh, we have gay people that aren't gay, but they're gay because they say pillow friends. Come on, stop it. We're gonna have gay lover scenes because we're not, come on. It's like stop.
We have
It's
a
like, stop.
polycule.
We've turned kings into queens because there were there weren't enough queens, even though half the world was queens, and it's a matriarchy in the book. Yes, it's a matriarchy in the book. When you have the most powerful nations run by females in the book, it's a matriarchy, but that wasn't enough. Egwene has to embarrass fucking Rand. Rand has to follow Egwene like a fucking sick puppy dog. All the, like, come on, stop it.
Mhm.
The Iron Chin got to stay, even though her character should be gone. And then on top of that, the first line of your show, this is the first line of your show. Let's remember the first line that came out of anybody in your show.
Many, many years ago, men who were born with great power believed they could cage darkness itself. The arrogance.
Oh, the arrogance of shitty ass men.
Like, to try and deliver that line with a straight
You're
face,
right.
like the fish doesn't know he's surrounded by water.
Oh wait, this is good timing. Mule just brought. So since we have the killing of Perrin's non-wife up there, Mule has a meme up for us. Here we go. Perrin kills his wife, kills his fake wife. Perrin kills his fake wife, but Amazon has good deals for authors on Audible.
Yes, Nilnihi, yes, men literally did destroy the world, but you need to provide context and you need to know what your audience is. So, you like the show just blatantly saying, and men fucked everything up is going to turn off the audience. There's a reason the prologue in the Eye of the World sets it up.
Yeah.
And so, even if you were going to say, oh, it's an unreliable narrator, you're going to find out later that Moraine is wrong. That's not how exposition in television works. There is an unsaid contract between me as the viewer and the TV show that I am watching, that what they are going to tell me in the first 5 to 10 minutes about the history of the world is going to be accurate. And they really never got around to changing that. So, yes, men did destroy the world, but it wasn't out of arrogance, it was out of desperation.
Yeah.
You probably were agreeing with me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, well that's the thing, right? It's framed like it's exactly right. It's framed as they thought they were strong enough to kill the Dark One. What a bunch of fucking arrogant fools. Men are so arrogant to think they're so strong when there's a whole bunch of nuance to it. And the closest you think you get to it is that terrible cold opening where they're speaking when they're speaking Old Tongue. In what was it? The cold opening in episode 7. That's the closest you get to it. They never come back and explain it. So, and the line is still like.
I mean, if we're getting technically book accurate, it was that arrogance of the women when they said they weren't going to work with the men that led to this problem in the first place. And who opened the door? Women.
So, well, yeah. I mean, look, it could be just the cow. You could say it's the cowardice of women that destroy the world if you really want to play semantics, because the women made the men go alone. So, like, if it's just it's however you want to mince words, right? So. Or you just actually, tell the story and let the people who are watching it decide who's to blame or not to blame.
Yep.
And then you have the interesting discussion if you want to have it, right? I mean, there's still the discussion to be had of whether who's to blame, and if the women were right not to go because the counterstroke would have tainted the Saidar. Which I don't think so. I'm on the side of.
I actually found a comment from Robert Jordan, and he said it would have tainted both parts of the source, which I'm just going to say I think is horseshit.
I think it's horseshit too. So yeah. So it's it's funny because.
I know.
It's one of those things because I remember that quote, and I remember that quote because somebody brought it up, and I'm like, well, I think that quote's bullshit because that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Apparently, it's a real quote.
No, it is a real quote.
Yep.
No, it's a real quote. I just, it's one of those it's one of those things where it's like, I think Mr. Jordan was put on the spot and didn't think about it, and because
kind of like the Tamandrid thing that never
happened. The whole thing is made much more interesting if that's not the case, and that the women abandoned the men to do it, and the men went crazy because the women. Abandoned them and were too arrogant themselves to try and go help them, right? So whatever. That's too interesting. That's a book thing.
Yeah.
So make up a female character to fridge in the first episode, but the final episode.
Wait, what? It's not woke because they fridged the made-up character? Is that what he just said?
Wasn't woke. Not only did the show make up a female character to fridge in the first episode, but
which would be woke, right? That is woke. They made up a female character that doesn't exist who took Perrin's job. She took his job, and who was much better at everything than Perrin was. And then we fridged her for no reason, and then she monopolizes all of his screen time.
I mean, yes, she was clearly a better fighter than Perrin based on the scene they showed us.
Yeah.
And yes, if your argument is, oh, well, that scene proves this show isn't woke.
It's just
how is a scene of an incompetent man accidentally killing his way more competent wife not woke.
Well, I don't
Yeah, plus
understand
the
why
fridging.
I don't understand why making up a female character that doesn't exist and then killing her makes it. Why is that? That's the evidence you have that because we killed a female character. Did you watch Fail doing all her ninja tricks as Perrin got killed twice in season 3, and she just did ninja moonsaults and shit?
I know, and it's like
Like,
the
I
whole
mean,
thing with
like, what are we talking
fridging.
about? Did you not see the Viking women of Edmund's Field with their doors as shields as they had their spears out while all the men walked around like idiots? I saw that part.
Yeah,
Right?
KRS, I think, absolutely crushes it here. You can be
I-
woke and stupid at the same time. It's a requirement.
True. All right, here we go.
The final episode fulfilled the bury your gays trope, which, no, I'm not trying to say the show is anti-woke. It was pretty good on a representation level. I swear to God, these people who throw woke around. We'll see pandering, which I don't
Okay,
think some of the
stop.
stuff we did see in real time.
Pandering.
You-
There's a polycule. Oh my god.
Okay, here's the other problem.
Ugh.
When you make all of the side characters gay, you're eventually going to have to kill one of them. Also, Rafe Judkins basically came out and said he really disliked Sawan's arc after the tower deposition, basically because he didn't like her with Gareth Britt. So the idea that they literally killed the gay character because they took it as the position that it is better for her to be dead than in a relationship with a dude.
Well, because that ruins his
Kind
gay
of like
character
the lawyer
as the
that
lead,
killed
right?
himself, but because he didn't want to be in a like 3-way gay relationship.
Yeah,
Right.
Remember that season one?
Suwan's better dead because then he can have his gay main character. Why so how about we talk about this? If it's not woke, why didn't we kill Moraine in Lanfear like we were supposed to?
Why did we cast under very explicit racial quotas?
Yeah.
Yes. Why is
does-
Avienda the only black Aiel that has the speaking part?
Yeah. There's so many pieces of evidence that
What?
this is a woke show, up to and including Rafe Judkins saying it.
Why are the Aiel maidens so horny all the time?
Why did Rand not get a final fight for a finale in this show?
Rand didn't fight at all. Rand's yeah, whatever. Ugh.
Was, and then be like, well, that's trying to be woke. Not understanding that like actual woke media is things like Everything Everywhere All at Once. The movie Alien and Aliens, the original Star.
Daniel,
Alien
my
and
God.
Aliens is woke, dude. You're
What is
losing
your-
the plot,
The
bro?
original Star Wars.
What is your
Everything
definition of
everywhere?
woke?
What the
Like,
fuck are you
what?
talking about? What he doesn't. So he doesn't know what being woke is. That's actually pretty crazy. What? Because Princess Leia is awesome, and because Ridley is awesome, it's
well,
woke.
You're actually going to get an explanation here. He's
This is
going
fascinating.
to play a clip of George Lucas being interviewed by James Cameron.
All right, here we go.
And
Wars was about
Sorry, go ahead.
so
thought you were done, sorry.
I have the clip pulled up so we can watch what George Lucas actually said versus what Daniel Greene is trying to demonstrate.
So he's
what
misquoting.
George-
Interesting.
He's selectively edited this clip, and far be it for me to cast aspersions on a highly principled and ethical person like Daniel Greene.
We'll never
about-
sell his word.
Yes, about selectively editing something, but I will let you, the audience, determine if you think Daniel may have put his thumb on the scale here a little bit.
All right, or are you share? Did you share it first, or you want me to play this first?
I'm gonna let him play the clip, and then
Yeah.
we can watch it.
Okay, so I'll play that. Here we go.
American imperialism. My God.
They're using asymmetric warfare against a highly organized empire. I think we call those guys terrorists today.
When I did it, they were calm.
Exactly. So were you thinking of that at the time? So it was a very anti-authoritarian, very kind of 60s against the man kind of thing.
Or a colonial, we're fighting the largest empire in the world.
Right.
Pandering does not equal woke, and I don't.
Okay, so what if you watch this clip, it is very clear that they are not talking about
The man.
About anti-Americanism. They're talking about tactics. Hang on, let me share this one.
I can't believe that's his evidence that it's not woke. No sound. Oh, it's there you go. Still don't have any sound.
Can you hear it?
No.
I forget. How do you?
Is it on
Make it
YouTube?
faster.
Yes, it is on YouTube.
All right.
Here, let me send you the link in the private chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we're having a problem, just send it there and I'll get it. Perfect. All right. Is there a timestamp or you just play it?
Just play the entire thing.
All right.
It's like a 4-minute interview.
Yep, of course.
Black Kane, what is up?
Where'd you go? He's here, the man. What we got? Just got here. Go ahead and start over. Thanks, man.
Actually, real quick, we should go back and talk about how him saying it's not woke. There's just a lot of pandering in it.
Because that's so much better.
What, Daniel? What is the pandering if not wokeness?
Yeah, what are you pandering? Love and family. Okay, here we go.
In school, I was of the
Oh, you want me to speed it up? I'll speed it up a little bit.
angry young man.
Sure,
student.
you were a rebel.
I come out of anthropology, so my focus is social systems. And in science fiction, you got two branches. One is science, and the other is social. I'm much more of the 1984 kind of guy.
Sure.
I am
THX 1138.
the spaceship guy.
Yeah.
The spaceship. I got into spaceships out of cars.
Yeah.
I love cars. I love going fast.
You might have to skip.
I like
a
spaceships.
little-
But
I think this is an interesting interview.
Yes.
Something very interesting with Star Wars, if you think about it. The good guys are the rebels. They're using asymmetric warfare against a highly organized empire. I think we call those guys terrorists today. We call them Mujahideen, we call them Al-Qaeda.
when I did it, they were Viet Cong.
Exactly. So were you thinking of that?
So if you pause it here, George Lucas is not saying that Al-Qaeda and the Mujahideen are the good guys. He's comparing guerrilla warfare to fighting against an empire.
Yes.
So this is not anti-Americanism.
So you could say Mujahideen, Viet Cong, American colonials. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So this was the first thing that it's woke, it's anti-American. No, it's not.
Yeah.
So it was a very anti-authoritarian, very kind of 60s against the man kind of thing, nested deep inside of fantasy.
Or a colonial, we're fighting the largest empire in the world.
Right.
And we're just a bunch of hayseeds in coonskin hats that don't know nothing.
That's right.
And it was the same thing with the Vietnamese.
Yep.
The irony of that one is in both of those, the little guys won.
Right.
You know what I really love is I'm reading The Shadow Rising, and you really get the sense that this is an American fantasy story. Like, I was reading something about the Whiskey Rebellion in Pennsylvania and around Pittsburgh and stuff like that, and how that got started. And it's like, oh yeah, this is like, I could see a lot of this going into the Battle of the Two Rivers and how that all comes to pass. And I really like that part. So yeah, they are in the coonskin hats. They're fighting.
Yes, Jeremy White for $5. There was a time when we called them Sons of Liberty. Yes, George Lucas is actually going to bring that up right here.
All right, here we go.
And the big, highly technical empire,
The English Empire. Right?
English Empire, the American Empire, lost.
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
But that's a classic, us not profiting from the lesson of history, because you look at the inception of this country, and it's a very noble fight of the underdog against the massive empire. You look at the situation now, where America is so proud of being the biggest economy, the most powerful military force on the planet. It's become the empire, from the perspective of a lot of people around the
It was
world.
the empire during the Vietnam War. But we never learned,
Still
from England or Rome or, a dozen other empires that
fall.
went on for hundreds of years or sometimes thousands of years. We never got it. We never said, well, wait, this isn't the right thing to do. And we're still struggling with it.
And they fall because of failure of leadership or government often. And
Mostly it's-
you have a great line, which is, so this is how liberty dies.
We're in the middle of it right now.
To thunderous applause. Exactly. It was a condemnation of populism in a science fiction.
So let's real quick talk about the time frame that this was written in. So Star Wars came out in 1977. So Jimmy Carter was president. So we had just gone on Nixon and Ford trying to get us out of Vietnam after Kennedy and Johnson had got us into Vietnam. Eisenhower was there a little bit, but Kennedy jacked the numbers up. So, it's not like we're not doing anything smart in Vietnam. We need to pull out of Vietnam was a left-wing anti-American topic. Like getting out of Vietnam was like an 80-20 issue in the 70s. So this comparison doesn't make sense anyway. But also, it's not like the anti-woke right-wing crowd of today is like, yeah, we should totally be fighting forever wars in far-off lands. Like, the right wing is the one that kind of wants Ukraine, Russia to end. So, like, this isn't even, George Lucas isn't even being like left wing here, if that makes sense.
Yep. I get it. All right. Should I play it? Is that it or is there more?
I don't know. How much more do you have? There's like 40 more seconds. I don't know. There might be a little bit more.
Context. That's a theme that runs all the way through Star Wars.
I think science fiction is so good at these kind of social themes.
Yeah, the great thing about Star Wars is I had a thing, a vessel that I could throw anything into. Yeah. But one of the biggest problems you have in science fiction with movies, you don't have it in books or anything, but in movies, you have to create a real world. Yeah. And it's a real world that doesn't exist. Yeah. And you have to do what Kurosawa used to say is, it has to have immaculate reality. Yeah. Even though it's not real.
That term. Yeah.
Immaculate reality. Oh yeah, that's Wheel of Time to a T.
But yeah, so he's talking about like the small versus the big. It's not like there's a some kind of woke ideology there that it's anti-American is bad. It's America should stop fighting foreign wars forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also say like pandering, his like assertion that pandering doesn't equal woke. I'd say like if it's pandering, then it makes it propaganda, and the propaganda aspect of this stuff is like what makes something woke.
Oh God. Okay. I don't know. Like his definition of woke is so weird. I don't even know what it is.
I have no issue with the Wheel of Time show's representation, but there wasn't some super forced in political ideology either. Robert Jordan described his politics as a libertarian monarchist.
Daniel, you just said you don't like the pandering. What is pandering if not super forced in stuff? Like
the whole thing is super forced in stuff.
Yes. He also was quoted as saying this. So yeah.
Let him read this, but he's not gonna read the bottom paragraph.
Okay.
In his books in ways he could with things like Pillow Friends at the time he was being published before gay marriage was even legal. And I won't say he
So am I going back to this, or does he still read it?
I'm sorry. Let him do his thing, but then we're gonna go back to that quote. We're gonna see if it applies to the show.
Super forced in political ideology either. Robert Jordan described his politics as being a libertarian monarchist. He also was quoted as saying this. So yeah, he deliberately put gay characters subtly in his books in ways he could with things like Pillow Friends at the time he was being published before gay marriage was even legal. And I won't say he'd love the show. I wouldn't say he'd hate the show. I'm not going to try and put words in a dead man's mouth. That seems rather wrong to do.
What? Which part?
So Daniel described him as intentionally putting gay and lesbian characters there in ways like Pillow Friends, because it wouldn't be socially acceptable, apparently, in 1995 to have gay and lesbian characters. I think that's a fair summary of what he said.
Okay.
Do you see that anywhere in this quote? Do you see like, oh yes, I was intentionally putting gay characters in, trying to sneak it past Harriet?
I'm reading it. I don't really. I mean,
why do you say he was sneaking it in? I think that's such a dumb like argument too, because it's like I read all the books at once, and then by the time you get to the end of the books, you can see like he wrote like he's like deliberately changing like who's doing what. Like you have female grooms and like all these other things, and it's like I don't think he tries to hide it. I mean, they talk about Leandra and like, okay, she doesn't like men. Okay, I mean, like so not staying on somebody's sexuality and what they like to do with their private parts behind closed doors. In the context of the Watch book is like good writing, not like you don't need to focus on that. It's not important to the story.
I do, but that's not my bag to bring out the question of gender stereotypes and the whole 9 yards. And they're just running around doing the things that they do. And you can figure out who some of them are. If you want to help them, I don't care. It's not the point if they're gay or not gay, okay?
So at any point, is there anything about like trying to sneak things past editors or censors or feeling pressured?
No, it sure sounds like he said, I wrote them, and if you want to find them, they're there.
Yes.
It's just not relevant to the main plot.
It
so
doesn't
shut the fuck
matter.
up.
It's unimportant. No, Moraine is not gay. Maybe she was in school once.
Yeah, he deliberately put gay characters subtly in his books in ways he could, with things like Pillow Friends at the time he was being published before gay marriage was even legal. And I won't say he'd love the show. I wouldn't say he'd hate the show. I'm not going to try.
Though he did write lots of
Harriet cried, okay?
I
Like,
put words in a
fuck
dead
you.
man's mouth. That's
lots of polyamory. What are we talking about? The ideal, I guess.
rather wrong to do, in my opinion. Why you don't like it?
It's wrong to put words in a dead man's mouth.
So you're going to do it.
But he just used a quote in an argument against a made up person he's arguing with philosophically, and then phrased it in a way that wasn't used in the quote. I would also point out that if we're going to use that passage, if you are being honest, you have to use the whole passage. You have to use the part about, like, hey, the characters are gay, but I'm not focusing on that because I am trying to tell a story. You then contrast it with the show where them being gay was a massive part of their identity and their screen time.
But here I want to say something real quick. Okay, and this is going to shock everybody. I don't give a fuck. Okay, that the show being woke, it's probably the maybe 18th problem I have with the fucking show.
Yep.
There are so many things wrong with the show that are so much worse than it being woke. It's woke. It just is. But in the hierarchy of problems with the show, for myself at least, it's not in the top 10.
See, the only thing I will say is if this show had managed to thread the needle and make a hyper progressive show that was watchable, I would agree. But the wokeness is responsible for a lot of the bad writing.
I guess if you I mean,
it's all meshed together into
I guess if
one
you put it that way, it's
ugly-
meshed together, right? I get what you're saying. But I get when you put it like that, I get what it's sort of all, you can't avoid it, so it's sort of in there, but if you don't that's if you don't want to call what is written on screen woke, then fine. I still think it's shit. But it is woke, so
That's a great point.
I mean, I don't understand the point, right? It's like whether it's woke or not, it's still shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think you complaining whether it's woke or not, like I don't think that bolsters any argument of like the show being better, right? I don't like the show's still crap, regardless. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. Black Cave for $10. I'm behind, but I have issues. While filming isn't an excuse. Apocalypse Now had half the cast coked out. The main character had a heart attack, and Brando was insane. And the film was is a masterpiece.
Exactly.
Just another one on the list of why the excuse train needs to pull over and get the fuck out.
Okay, but them being coked out of their mind was part of the reason it was good. So like that's them being coked out basically probably canceled out the other stuff. But your point is well made.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mule. I don't know what Mule just sent me. Something about wokeness.
I'm a little
You can tell they are secretly queer in the book in the 90s. I don't know. Oh, I remember. Was that fucking whatever? I don't remember. I'm not gonna. We gotta move on. All right.
The
Too
woke
much to
ideology
read,
of the
man.
Wheel of Time show. In the books, Randall Thor actually ends up
Establishing state-funded education.
Oh my god.
Hey, do you think Daniel Greene thinks conservatives don't want public education?
Wait,
How is that state funded if he's funding it and not Elaine?
what does this have to do with anything? I don't.
So apparently, because Rand
Set up
set
schools.
up what is essentially a university
Yeah.
that he then sent all of the brightest kids to. This is somehow equivalent to American public schools, and he also thinks that Republicans want to get rid of public schools in America.
Please.
Rand wanted to leave something behind after his whole motivation for the school was so something would be left behind when he fucking.
Yeah, and
Like-
it wasn't like really a school
like-
necessarily. It was just like inventors and stuff writing
It was-
things down and experimenting.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you could call it a school. You could call it just a place to play and hash out ideas. You like if you want to call it a school, fine. But like the whole driving force behind that was Rand wanted to.
Hey, there's somebody talking shit about Logate. I saw that dark
Rand
malicious.
Rand wanted to leave something as a legacy other than destroying the world and beating the Dark One, and his legacy was something that people could better the world, and he wanted to be the one who started it.
Yes.
Like, so there was something, so his name wasn't just Mud.
Yeah.
He did something good for the world besides for saving it.
Yes. So what? So it.
So
Like,
I
I
don't
mean,
understand
if-
I don't get the point.
if you were
Maybe I'm
going
just
to-
dumb.
If you're going to make an argument that the Wheel of Time was woke, your argument should be immigration in the Two Rivers.
Yeah.
Like RJ had some boomer thoughts on immigration.
Or like the Two Rivers not going all the way in their struggle for independence and just cucking to the government, like, was just the thing that really hurt me.
Yeah, but no, Daniel, I promise you, it is not the woke position that we should take all of the brightest people, isolate them away from the rest of the chap, if you will, and give them a space to kind of operate in an academic setting away from the normies. I guarantee you that is not the woke education policy.
Nick, for $5, wokeness is why Moraine is the main character, a lesbian, and why the magic is changed, why the lore is changed, and why the boy has lost all moments. Yep, that's it right there. It's why Amma, well, not Amma, whatever Algo. It's because Agomar's sister, the woman that can't channel a thread, gets the biggest moment in the season finale.
Yep.
That's.
No, John Thomas. Yes, he's referring to the universities, not the Black Tower. I am also referring to.
Yeah, I'm referring to. Yeah,
universities.
I don't understand how. Yeah, that's what we're referring to as well. Yeah.
We didn't get to that point in the show. I guess Robert Jordan's books were more woke than the show. Breaking news.
Because there's a school. What the fuck does that? What the fuck is he talking about? What he doesn't know what? Does he not know what woke is? Like he doesn't know. Is that what we're having? Why is Rand created a school?
This
So it's
man is
woke?
having a mental breakdown, and I'm kind of here for
No,
it.
I'm trying. Like, could some like I'm not understanding.
He genuinely seems to think that Rand creating a university for only the best and brightest to attend is the equivalent of the American public school system. So this means that Robert Jordan supported the American education system 27 years later, and therefore this makes the Wheel of Time book series woke.
Jesus Christ.
I know there's like 3 or 4 busted leaps in logic you have to make.
Talk about just trying to make something that's not there. Like Rand wanted a school for like inventions. That's it.
Yes,
I don't
and
understand. I don't.
I think Gadfly also makes an excellent point here.
I know. I was
they
just
were
going
not
to say
public
private schools.
All right, I gotta hit play. Oh, wait, we're back in.
We're back
dude,
in the
dude,
jam.
come on, hit it! Come on, hit it!
Just hit 3 of them.
Just hit it once. Come on, give me 2. Give me 2. Too much? All right, shit, damn.
Decided to bring you all a dramatic reading of a real comment someone paid cash money for me to read to give you.
This is a
All
wild
right, so
section,
so
by the
hey
way.
guys, just real quick. Even if you pay me money to call me an asshole, thank you. All right, if you give me money, even if it's to say something dick-like to me, I'm still going to be grateful that you gave me money. I'm not going to make a personal video to call you out for giving me money. Just saying. I like this probably of everything he's done, this is probably the stupidest.
This is wild.
This is baffling to me. Even if you don't agree with it, like I haven't heard the comment yet, but I've had several people tell me about this part of this video to where he calls out somebody that actually paid him, which the guy just is feeding you. That cup of coffee you drank, that's because of the guy that just gave you that comment. You don't have to agree with what he said, but you also don't have to call him out and call him an asshole. So whoever you are, you can come on into my chat. I love you. That's all. Just saying. Like, good Lord.
Give you a solid example of one of hundreds of comments I would get every day in regards to this show from culture war obsessed freaks. From Crash Out Demon 69. I will get
69.
Yes, Alexander Nurenden, this does sound a little
Wow.
like shilling, doesn't it? For $5.
Culture war freaks, huh?
Culture war freaks. Yes.
Don't you tell me that.
Did you cheat on your wife?
I was gonna say, I don't,
I didn't. Did you cheat on her yet?
I have
you
not
done it
cheated
yet?
on I have not cheated on my wife.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, sorry. Culture war freaks. Okay.
Yeah, I would not.
At least
be
they're not
throwing the word
sexual.
freak.
Are they sexual deviants?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess I don't know. We'll have to ask. All right, here we go.
give you. I do like your name. I love you, DG. I love your channel. I love how authentic you feel and sound. I love the respect and passion that you have for books. I love your content. I love not just the Wheel of Time videos, but also I love your other book series videos. But I hate Amazon, quote, Wheel of Time, close quote. 3 seasons was already too much.
What? Why is he laughing at that? Why? Like, what the fuck prompted that?
That was polite.
What was that?
Ordering on simpering.
What the fuck was that? Hold on, I gotta go back. That was weird.
3 seasons was already too much. The most pathetic response. Well,
it probably sounds weird because it's spun out.
No, I don't think. No, you want me to? I'll slow it down.
No,
It's
no,
just,
no, it's fine,
it's just
it's
a very weird. He's like laughing. I don't understand why that's funny. It was too much. He's right.
At least it'll get people to buy the books. Response. That dude is sadder than.
Okay, so because he had the quotation mark in the wrong spot, because he said because it's after response and not books, you've ridiculed him. Like, this is literally, ha, you have made a typo in our online internet argument, therefore I win. Levels of discourse.
Okay, hold on.
Then when the writer for Percy Jackson talked about his movies early 2000s and what Disney did to them, but at least he didn't have people like you to say that the movie Abominations were still good. When have I said that the show was overall good? I have never.
You just did.
Do we need to go back through this video and get like the clips that are talking about season 3's quality?
You're doing what you did, what everybody else is doing, which is shitting on the previous seasons to prop up the season that's current.
Yes.
And frankly, we don't know what the truth is from you because you sold your soul to Amazon for season 1. You told us how great it was for the full run, and then a year later, when your NDA ran out, you decided to go, "Oh well, it really wasn't very good."
Now everyone that says it's bad, I'm gonna get up and say it's bad now. Who do you
So-
think? Brandon Sanderson?
So, but what he's gonna do is he'd come back and say, "Well, yeah, I thought season 3 was good because everybody likes season 3 in my circle. In my circle, everybody likes 3, so 3 is good. But there's still 2 seasons that I say are bad, so it's not overall good. He's gonna beat that overall to death. But whatever. Like, if we believe, like, which Daniel do we believe? The one that told us it was good all season for season 1, or the one that came out after when everybody said it was shit and decided to go, "Oh, it was shit"?
I've been positive on some episodes. I liked season 3 overall. What's that average out to? Mediocre. I swear to God, I feel so afraid of getting.
He likes season 3 overall. Like
mediocre. You're still saying So
And have I ever
now
said
you're
was
parsing
in season 3.
Now you're just fucking hashing words like, oh, mediocre. It's like, no, you saying mediocre because you don't want to validate what the guy said. You've been saying good through the whole video. Like, whatever.
When talking about AI or criticisms of certain stuff, but then mouth breathers like this come along and remind me, no.
Holy shit. Wow. This is a guy that's making him lose his shit?
Yes. What is it? Demon Max, Demon Crush 69. Good on you, man.
Jesus Christ. Why is he crashing out over this? Holy shit.
Such a meltdown video.
Because it doesn't get drilled home. Let me say this real slow, real loud.
I absolutely hate Amazon as a company and what they're doing to the
So why
are you just saying you don't like this? Do you like the show or not?
market. I reviewed the show in spite of their involvement. Overall, I thought it was average to mediocre with one good season. I do not think it was overall a good show and have not said that despite my individual episode analysis occasionally being positive. If you cannot distinguish between those things, I hope you go back to school and get greater education. Beyond that, yes, I am.
Dude, you're a piece of shit.
Yes. And a dumb one.
Like so stupid.
What, dude? You're just reinforcing what the guy said. Yeah, I may have had videos that said it was good here and there in between, but it was actually 3 of the 5 season episodes, so it really is a net negative. But then when I said season 3 is good, I meant only 61.4% of it. So when you total out the other percentages, it's mediocre. Like, dude, what the fuck? You're if you watch your videos, most people think you are positive about the show. When you ask anybody about you've put this out there into the world. People think like maybe you're the problem because guess what? Most people think you like it.
Yep.
So maybe you should go back and look at your critiques or your reviews because what you're putting out into the world is telling people that you like the show.
Yes. Crash Out Demon 69 has been right 99.9% of the time, and his 0.1 error was putting a quotation mark 1 word too late.
I'm happy that people are picking up my favorite book series on a new higher scale than ever before because unlike you, I'm not being performative and I genuinely enjoy people sharing in stories.
So that eventually Percy Jackson also got to have a television series that was...
Can we pause there and appreciate the irony of somebody screaming, I am not being performative through a megaphone into a microphone. Like, if this was a meme, like the Nynaeve screamed, I'm not screaming, like, maybe that would have been something. But to actually say, I'm not being performative through a megaphone.
Well, it was like, so Thumb, he might be confused, gaslighting himself because he told the viewers the show was good, but inside his own mind, he thought it was shit. And then Max says the same thing. I'm not being performative while he's speaking through a microphone. What? Why, Ben? He's outing, like he is literally crashing out over somebody who is leaving a comment for money. Like, did you just see him? This guy say, "I still love you."
I was going to say,
and he sits there and fucking just like berates him. Like, he chose to do this. He didn't need to do that. There has to be worse comments that he's got than this. This is somebody that actually, like, I guarantee you there's worse comments in his comment threads than this.
Also, like, he is about to say way worse things about this guy for way fewer offenses than us calling him a piece of shit for cheating on his fiance. Like, I'm sorry, if this is the rules that he's playing by, fine. Like, whatever.
God damn, man. Yeah, like,
because
like I would like, yeah, like if it, like I mean, whatever, man. Fuck it.
Follow the book closer. But of course, when you're too busy getting invited into premieres and rubbing elbows with the cast and the Amazon fat cats, it's very easy for you, fair, honest, and non-biased integrity to go right out the window.
That didn't roll down like it was supposed to. That was bad. That's just this goblin's opinion.
What they're managing to accomplish.
6 to 10.
Can we go back a little bit? So, Daniel Greene in season 1 gave it a 6 of 10. Now that the show has been canceled, it's now a 5 of 10. And let us not forget that Daniel Greene himself earlier in this video said, I gave season 1 a lot of slack that I probably shouldn't have, because I was really sort of overwhelmed by the stuff that he saw at the premiere. So everything that he is spurting out on this guy about is stuff that he himself has said. He has the evidence of it literally on the screen in front of us.
I know. He's like, the guy's totally true. It's like he went and got all razzle dazzled. The Amazon paid him for his reviews, and now
doing this.
The audience knows.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
What does this have to do with the Wheel of Time being canceled?
I don't know. This is so weird. It's very bizarre.
This is a weird, over everything. This is a weird choice, and you're letting a chat. You're a 3. I don't even how is he 500,000 sub YouTube channel now? One comment from a guy that made you money is making you just spurg out like this? Dude, what the hell? Are you okay?
This is weird behavior.
This is odd. I don't understand. It's such a weird thing. I don't just say, dude, thank you for the $2. And just ignore him.
Read his comment in the best faith way you can, and if you disagree, explain why you disagree.
It's such an. Why is it? And the only thing I can come back to of what is bothers him that much, because obviously he touched a nerve.
Yes.
You're so pissed off about this comment because deep down inside there's some truth to it.
Right. You admitted there was some truth to it.
That's the only thing I come back to, that you had to go crazy on this guy about one comment in your probably several hundred comment video.
Bizarre.
Because he touched a nerve. It's wild. Man, whatever. Jeez.
That didn't roll down like it was supposed to. That was bad. That's just this goblin's opinion.
What they're managing to accomplish is self-contained.
So what? Why is it now a 5? By the way, 5 minutes of me criticizing season 2 writing, specifically not even half of my critics said in the okay. 5 minutes of a 41-minute video.
Skip to timestamp 41:16 if you don't want to watch 5 minutes of old videos of him criticizing season 2. He put 5 minutes of old videos of him criticizing.
All right, well, I'm skipping it because what the fuck? Jesus Christ, man. Dude, drink some decaf, man. What is, jeez, man.
Prince Ravens crushes this. The funniest thing is this whole video is performative. It's titled as a post-mortem of the show, but the whole video is about Daniel Greene.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything about the show except he hates Amazon.
Yes. But even that is for financial reasons of his own.
Review. Called it. I tell you and anyone else who's reading this why there wasn't another season. It's because they wrote themselves into a bloody hole. They changed the
Yes.
characters to the point that there was no way that the show would have ended anywhere close to how the ending in the books were. All because they wanted to focus on female characters a lot more than they wanted to focus on Dragon Reborn. It's the Dragon Reborn. Simply because...
Oh, for fuck's sake, dude.
Again, you made a typo. Therefore, I'm correct.
It's there's only one person that can do that level of shit, and Dane isn't here right now, so.
Dude, holy shit. He really didn't. Are you gonna talk about like? Are you gonna? Did he fucking spurg out on the show for calling Rand the Dragon and not the Dragon Reborn?
Not
Or
as hard
call-
as he did on this
or,
guy.
or for calling, or I'm sorry, for calling Louis Theron the Dragon Reborn when Louis Theron is the dragon.
Yep. What the other thing that blows my mind about
Like
this?
Jesus Christ. Sorry,
Like,
go ahead.
He doesn't even read the guy's comment accurately. Like there are several times where he misreads a word to make the guy sound dumber than he is.
Well, he's so fucking angry.
I know. What is up with him?
It's the Dragon Reborn, not like, dude, calm down. Holy, like, Jesus Christ. Don't read your comments. Holy moly.
Because he was a male to the point that there were no freaking way that they were going to make any seasons that show that he was actually going to be the one in charge and having all these other strong women answer to him and accept him as their leader. Do you think that's what happens in the Wheel of Time?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yep.
Is it what?
You
is
know
it
how
the
I know
Shadow
this?
Rising or is it Fires of Heaven, where Moraine literally takes an oath to obey him?
Is there also not a scene where Rand comes in with his dick flops his dick out on the table in front of Egwene and says, "You're gonna do what I say," and then intimidates them all into basically doing exactly what he wants them to do.
I would also say if we were talking about strong women obeying the Dragon Reborn, what is the end of the most famous scene in this series? It's Dumai's Wells. It's kneel or you will be knelt. So, yes.
I mean, like, you remember that scene where he goes into a room full of Aes Sedai, including the new Amyrlin, and who happens to be his childhood friend, and she's so scared of him that she decides to do exactly what he wants her to do, and he manipulates her into getting all the armies exactly where he wants them because he's smarter than her, and she fucking ends up bringing the army he needs to fight the last battle for him. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Rand al'Thor is the main character.
Yeah, or Cad Swain. What is it? Do you think if I but willed it, the pattern would stop your heart? That I could kill you without using channeling or my sword? Like the idea that like the powerful women get in line behind Rand al'Thor. Yes, my guy, that is the thing that happened in the series,
including the main character of this show, who would never do it in the show.
So good.
They sort of pretend that she's doing it while she's manipulating him,
and he thanks her for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. Like this whole like what does he think happens?
I'm sure we're gonna find out in a minute.
All the people that are fighting under his banner. Like I don't understand I don't get it. They're all fighting for him. He united the world. Right? Am I right?
No, you're 100% right.
Am I wrong? Like everybody by the end of the series is fighting for the dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Just okay.
Oh my god, dude. First of all, there is more time spent in female POVs in the books than male POVs. There are more.
It doesn't fucking matter. Who cares?
No, this is a lie. Okay, if we are looking at text, 53.7% of the POVs in the Wheel of Time series is from a male perspective. 46.1% of the chapters are from a female POV, and there's another like 0.1 that's from a neutral POV, a non-gendered POV. So the idea that no, there are more chapters and more POV from a male perspective. So no, Daniel, you're either wrong or lying here.
Well, like, look, and so what? Who cares? Great, there's more female POVs. I don't care. So what? So it's female POVs talking about how they're following the dragon. Great. Like, remember all those scenes where Egwene's talking about how she was so afraid of Rand, and even though he wasn't channeling or anything, she felt petrified and she could feel the pattern around him warping everything, and how she fucking couldn't do anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all her talking about the guy that she ends up following at the end.
Yeah.
Remember the Dragon Reborn, where Rand is barely in the book, yet the whole book is about Rand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm especially like, he's like, where did you think that Robert Jordan wrote this 80s macho fantasy? Homeboy, he ends the series married to 3 different hot women. Like, let's not pretend that this is some 2025, postmodern girl
Fact
boss
check.
fiction.
Being a
Not
Taveran
very
is,
obvious
but
or
being
made.
to,
Okay,
but
you're
Just
correct.
Elaine.
being Taveran is power, though. It's not the one power, but being a Taveran, you're
didn't marry
warping
Indian
things
power.
around you. I get. There's a
With.
difference, but
Even more
Yeah.
out there. He was boning them and wasn't married to them.
look that I love the Dragon Reborn because Rand is not in it barely at all, but he permeates every page. Every action that happens in that book is because of Rand. And even though he's barely in it, it's Rand's book. It's still Rand's book, and he's barely in it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, like, come on, like, stop it. It's just, yeah, exactly. And Ellis, right here, who cares who got more pages to it? No Rand means no Seal the Dark One. This is so dumb. Exactly right. Everybody is at the last battle to fight for the Dragon Reborn. That is why they're there.
Yep. Thumb Maryland, POVs are not the same as chapter counts. Also, number of POVs doesn't equate to importance of various characters. You're 100% correct.
Yep.
The word count is basically still the same, 53 to 46. So POV, word count, chapters, it's all basically 53 to 46. And
Darth, hold on.
makes
I don't want to. You're saying that warping the world around you to bend to your will to win at dice every time is not a type of power. Being a Taveran is power. It's not the one power.
But
it's not the one power, but it's the type of power.
I guess
The three-
but you can't
Matt
control
Pa-
it. So
Matt Perrin and Rand change events around them constantly. They don't control it, but it's a type of power. I'm not saying it's the one power. I don't know if that's what you think I'm saying. I'm just saying their characters are just basically doing things without having to do them. And they are basically power incarnate because things happen because they need to happen around them. That is a type of power. Now, it's not the one power. It's not Sidene. It's not Sidar. It's not the true power, but it's power. It's a different kind of magic.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly like Arthur Harkening. Yes.
Yep. I like Max's comment here. The only way the male-female POVs are even close is by counting the missable prequel in the slog books that aren't relevant to the show.
Yeah.
Correct. And you notice I did something there. I extended Max generosity because he had a typo. He said way instead of was. And I just read through it. I wasn't going to berate him about it, and I'm making light of it now. So Max, I apologize. But that's because I'm not an asshole to my audience.
Why not? Berate him now. All right. Here you go.
Rulers in the books than male rulers. And well, Rand, I'm not going to get into spoilers.
What does that? Yes, it's a matriarchy. What does that have to do with?
Yes, and the world had to be recrafted away from the matriarchy for the Dark One to be defeated. Thank you, Daniel. Excellent analysis of the books.
There are women who go against him the entire time, and he even ends up.
And they bend to his, and they fight for him in the end. Yeah, he has to drag them quick, kicking and screaming, sometimes against their will, sometimes tricking them to actually doing exactly what he needs them to do.
Yep.
Like, do you not understand that the whole thing with Egwene was him manipulating her? He knew exactly what she was going to do. She was going to try and stop him from breaking the seals. That's why, because he knows Egwene so well, he knew exactly what she'd do. So he told her what he knew would get her motivated to try and stop him, which is get everybody to stand against him, which did exactly what he needed to do, which was get all the armies of the world in one place, because she's a powerful person in her own right. So she, even though she is she's probably the second most powerful person in the world behind him, but she's still bent to his will. Like, what are we talking about? like
up in relationships with women where they get to decide who he sees win. Where in the hell did Robert Jordan write this uber masculine 80s bullshit fantasy you're putting forward? My God, Amazon was so.
What does any of that have to do? What does any of that have to do with them bending to Rand at the end?
Okay, Steve, you're right there, but you missed the absolute gold of Rand. In the end of the book series, was in a relationship with 3 women at the same time. Where did Robert Jordan write this uber 80s macho fantasy?
Yeah, what guy dreams of fucking 3 hot women? What guy thinks, hey, Queen of Andor, hottest girl in the world, I'm gonna fuck you. Okay, great. Now I'm gonna go sleep with this hot, super hot, cute chick who's like fucking awesome. She's gonna hang around with me, and the girl that I just screwed and put babies in, she's perfectly cool with it. Oh, hey, there's this sporty, awesome fucking.
Yeah,
she's awesome in the sack, athletic chick. Hey, men, it's my turn with her in the sack. Is that okay? I'm gonna put some babies in her too. Yeah, no problem, Rand. She's my sister. Go for it.
Yes,
cool.
And Mule, as Mule brings up, he also had the hottest woman in the history of the world thirsting after him. Like, guys, Kane Legion. Jordan wrote the Conan
He
books.
wrote this shit. Oh my God. This is like the first
but
like,
it's like,
5
look,
pages. It's porn. Like,
but what I want to focus on is what does that have to do? What he just said about all that. What does that have to do with him saying that they all bend the knee to the Dragon Reborn at the end? Because none of what he just said has anything to do with the fact that they all fight for him at the end, because they do.
Yep.
So what are we talking about? Like, you're so mad that you, like, and I know he knows this. He's just like, he has to know it, but he's just so mad because this guy like made him spurg out. I don't understand why.
Focused on making female characters as strong and powerful or evil but sympathetic victims. I'm also looking at you, Miss 2 Plastic Surgery Cheekbones Red Sister, and as gay out of nowhere Miss Princess and Miss I Mean 2 Men, so that makes me cool. As they wanted to be. The writers didn't care about the fact that the original writer of the books already made strong and powerful women. That was extremely important, not just to the story, but to the male characters as well, without having to glamorize and prop up female characters, especially at the price of watering down, dumbing down, and downright changing male characters, internal struggles, and their importance within the series. I still love you, DG. Don't reproduce. But this show made my butthole itch. Oh God, I love when you see like one content creator say a thing and then their entire audience repeats it because, dude, oh my freaking God, this is what I have to deal with all the time. He paid me money to read that.
It's your moment. This is it. As big as you're gonna get, so enjoy it.
I don't believe they actually even read the books. I think they.
Okay. Like,
why are you reading it? Like, this is like your life is so hard, bro. Like,
He obviously read the books because
like,
everything he said in his comment was correct.
Yes, this is a bad sentence, not because the point is wrong, but because the grammar is bad.
Well, the guy, he obviously was like, I put that as he was probably nervous writing it because he knew what he was doing.
Or, yeah, he knew he was making an unpopular point, or he's not an English speaker as a first language, or he's a kid. Like, the idea that you need to go and rip on somebody for their grammar on the internet.
Like come on.
Like, if I were to look at this sentence here, again, not saying the show is anti-woke. Daniel, did you forget the subject of your sentence there? Like, not saying the show is anti-woke is, it's just an object. It's not a subject or a verb. Like, I mean, if you were to go and look back at that paragraph, that run-on sentence, it would basically say, Amazon was so focused on making female characters stronger and more powerful than the male characters that it got in the way of adapting the story. Their continued interest in making Leandrin an evil but sympathetic villain was ham-fisted and came with an opportunity to cost of developing their main characters. Their desire to create an Elaine and Avienda gay romance occurred with neither setup nor payoff and added nothing to the story other than pandering. Like, that is what I would, if somebody sent that to me, that is how I would try and interpret that sentence. So you could then address the point that is being made. To just slough off an accurate criticism because the grammar is bad is bullshit and cheap. And I would argue you are not doing your job as a host if you do not do that and if you do not respond to that.
I love how he slipped in the line about the he didn't say anything. He didn't defend Kate Fleetwood, the two surgeries line. No, I'm surprised, but like what? And then just being just like the guy's obviously read the book. Like why it's like I don't know. Again, not saying the show isn't anti woke. What?
Again, I'm not saying the show is anti-woke. See, I offered, some grace. It had decent representation and it cranked up the queer subtext that already existed in the books. Homeboy, Avienda and Elaine, they weren't doing it in the books.
Hold on, like hold on. Somebody made I need to because there was a comment in my Discord because somebody had just read that part of the book here. Oh, okay. So Anubis in my Discord. I just finished listening to the prologue, Winter's Heart, Book 9, The Wheel of Time. The scene depicting the ceremony where Elaine and Avienda are made first sisters is powerful, sacred, and deeply moving. It's a profound moment for cultural and spiritual bonding rooted in trust, sacrifice, and tradition. To reinterpret that sacred bond as a sexual relationship is not only fundamentally misreading, it's a desecration. It cheapens something beautiful and meaningful, truly a solemn rite into something unrecognizable. Such a portrayal isn't just inaccurate, it's a form of narrative blasphemy. This single act is enough, in my view, to justify walking away from the show entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Nil Nihi has a great comment here, and this never occurred to me.
Dude, it's a troll.
This was a troll.
A fucking troll. I don't know why I didn't even think about You're right. $2 well spent.
Crash Out Demon 69 may have just gone from like
MVP.
A kid that didn't deserve to get shit on to a pro's pro.
To a fucking legend. God damn. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. What a dude. Good call. Yes, that is that's Anubis. Shout out to Anubis in my Discord. That was a fantastic comment. I get 100%.
Gadfly to give us the rundown of all the different types of love. If he's still
yeah, it's one of those like put it to words better than I ever could. So thank you for that. All right, here we go.
They saw some grifter get mad about the show who also didn't read the books and then just regurgitated what they saw because they misrepresent the source material a lot and the problems they have.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
The show, I don't think really even exists. Again, this show
really, Daniel. You're misrepresenting problems.
Look, you're misrepresenting the books with your little text here at the bottom of the fucking you misread they ramped up the queer representation that was there. Jordan just said, yeah, there may be some there, but who gives a fuck? So
I don't remember Alana ever having fucking
I was gonna say
relatives that are like, where does the third one go?
Do you remember Alana having conversations about triple penetration in the books?
Yeah, no, I don't. I do also remember Alana basically mind graping Rand because she wanted an opportunity to try and control the most powerful person in the world because everybody needs him and follows him, right? She wanted to be in a place of power next to him.
Yeah.
I don't remember Alana fucking anybody in the books, in fact.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that Mirelle?
Yeah, it is Morel, actually. Yeah, she had 80 warders. And
I have to keep them, from going crazy and eating themselves. So I have to figure out some way to do it.
My favorite part of the book is when a Trolloc harpoon goes through two Aes Sedai and only kills one of them because she's not a named character. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Exist. Again, this show fridged a female character they made up in the first episode.
Irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Why do you keep why does that make it not woke because they killed a character they created for no reason? I don't understand why he keeps going. Why does he keep going back to this, making it not woke?
It is woke because it's just a bad trope. It's bad writing.
She's better than Perrin at everything.
Mm-hmm.
She is the blacksmith. Perrin is not.
Yeah.
He's a little bitch boy around her. What
And they did kill her for a reason. They killed her to
And that- well-
give him pain and to give him
Well-
something to focus on
well,
because
think
they
about
couldn't do his character any other way.
No, you're right, lady. Because yeah, she's fridged, and then she monopolizes all of Perrin's story throughout season 1.
Yeah.
Even though she's not there, she takes over Perrin's whole story arc because he can't get over his dead wife and the fact that he murdered her and possibly their baby.
And he's even bitching about that in season 3. So
Yeah, so yeah, she's who cares if she's fridged? She still took over his whole fucking storyline. Oops, I'm clicking on the wrong screen.
And buried a gay in the final who did not die at that point in the series.
He doesn't.
She
Are
was.
you talking about Ivan? Ivan doesn't exist. Oh, you're talking about Suwan.
Suwan.
Well, how about burying the other gay who isn't gay, who does die at that? Oh, well, sort of dies.
Yes, I. Okay,
oh yeah,
so
we forget about this side plot in
wait,
season 1.
So wait, killing a gay person and giving them all this fucking attention, like, makes it not woke. Like, she gets all this, like.
George.
What do you mean? I don't understand why killing a gay character that's not really gay. Like you understand the fact that Suwan is not gay,
I know, and all of those stuff.
and you're now
is
saying you killed a gay character. The gay character that's not gay in the books got killed to give her more importance at the end of the fucking season 3.
None of the stuff he's saying is actually woke. It's just really crappy writing and just tropes that the woke crowd tends to rip on, like killing your gays, fridging the women, like all of the bad guys are like black and brown people, that kind of shit. I mean, the
Also,
show
weren't
really
they trying
leads
to
into
set
it.
up? Weren't they trying to set up Perrin to not actually love her and secretly want? We
Yeah,
couldn't tell if it was
that
Rand.
too.
We couldn't tell if it was Rand or Egwene
Yeah,
that he was
Rand
in
or
love
Egwene,
with.
we
So.
don't know.
Yes. Yes, Prince of Raven's correct. Her huge monologue right before she got killed isn't about the future of the world. It's about Moraine.
Her love for Moraine, yes.
Dude, they killed a gay. Like, he's talking about killing a gay character that's not gay, so they made her gay. Like, I don't care if she was pillow friends when they were in the tower and they were gay in college. Fine. But guess what? She's not gay now. She never was gay in the books that we read. She was just the Amerlin seat who fucking took charge of the fucking tower badly. It was focused on trying to control the Dragon Reborn with Moraine, who was in the same fucking plot to do so. They weren't fucking. They made them gay. Making them gay and then killing them doesn't make, like, the act of making her gay is the woke part.
Yes.
She's not gay.
Yes.
You know how I know this? Because she falls in love and marries this dude called Gareth Bryn.
Yes.
And never sticks her
And Moraine
fucking.
gets married too.
He
so-
never sticks her toe inside fucking Suwan's vagina. Jesus Christ! Like, he's saying this, and he doesn't even understand. They killed a queer at the end of season 3. She's not queer.
Oh,
There you go. Woke. She's not gay. Suwan is not gay. She's gay in the show. Woke. How are you missing this?
Fish doesn't know he's wet.
Like, right? You get what I'm saying, right? Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, they killed a straight who now doesn't get to fucking fuck Gareth Bryn. Oh wait, Gareth Bryn ain't important. I forgot. Camelin doesn't exist. All right, here we go.
What are you all talking about? They also disproportionately killed more black characters earlier in the series.
So racist, not so.
Yeah,
like,
I called this out. You guys were ragging on me. This is a hella racist show.
I was gonna say, Ivan doesn't have a race. I'm pretty sure that Valda wasn't black in the books.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't believe Loyal was black in the books. I don't even think Suwan was half black in the books. Like,
No, she wasn't.
Having
I
a
don't
black
think Taryn.
man murder his wife,
I'd
OJ
have to-
Ambari here.
I'd have to look up what Terrans were described as, but I don't think it was. I don't
Like they're
think it
kind of
was
like
black.
Southeast Asian or something.
yeah. So like,
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
if you make all of the characters black or gay, some of them are going to die. Like the only two like side characters, I guess 3 side characters of any
Hey.
note I can think of
Hey.
are
I'm gonna blow your mind. Sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
You're good, man.
I'm gonna blow your mind. Ivron like doesn't exist in this dojo, and like he has no lines in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So black character was made up for show,
Mm-hmm.
and then given more representation and screen time than in book, and then was given more importance by being the instigator of everything Alana does for the future of season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Woke. It's like, what are we talking about? Ivon doesn't exist. Maxim doesn't exist.
Yeah,
They don't fucking have
so
any.
racist.
They
That was
don't
so
have any
funny.
lines. Like, what are we talking about? Like, come on, like, stop it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that was the most annoying part of all of this.
Oh, sorry. Go
Let's
ahead.
No, late to the party. I am still fascinated by the decision that went into that. Like they were just like, all right, find the blackest person we can, and then use prosthetics to make the nose even wider. Like that was one of those.
Also making Pat and
I
Fame
was like,
black.
are
Like, wow.
Yeah. God damn. The more we're talking about this, man, there were a lot of black people in the show. I didn't even realize.
Yes.
God damn. I didn't know. See, I'm like, I didn't even think about it, to be honest. Like, I don't fucking whatever.
I was gonna say disproportionately kill. I need to see your numbers on that, my man. Like, show me I need to see the Excel document proving that, because Jeffrey Bornhold and Samael both got it pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Samael. Oh God, are we actually calling him Samael? We need to call him something else. Spider Boy.
Yeah.
Like that is not my Samael. I love how they can't figure out when to use the word chosen.
Yeah,
and when to use the word
funny.
forsaken. Sorry, just saying. Oh, and the fact that we made Mogideon more scary than any of the Forsaken, that's not woke.
What can I say, man?
All right, here we go. Yeah.
Get into why the franchise is now in the worst position it could basically possibly be in. And what's extra nice is I'm actually going to take that money to get paid.
Because it sucks.
Oh my god, this
And
sweater
donate
is
to the
so
Trevor Project.
gay.
Look at that.
You're gonna do what? You're gonna donate $2 to someone? No, you're
He donated.
not.
He donated $2 to the Trevor Project.
What's the Trevor Project?
It's like the
the
gay
kid
kid
groomer,
charity.
like, charity.
But yeah, so I hate to be the one to tell you this, dog. So Trevor Project hasn't put out numbers for 2024 yet, but in 2023 they lost $7 million year over year.
Ooh.
And that was with the USAID funding that just got cut. So you should not be invoking the Trevor Project's name.
$2, dude, man, big spender.
I was gonna say that's gonna make up for
You could
lot
at
of
least
that.
he could have at least doubled it.
Right.
Like you could like, I mean, come on, big spender. Like
I was
you're
gonna
only
say.
like a $500,000 subscriber YouTube channel, but you know,
Well, if
whatever.
you think about it, when Mama Susan takes her 40%, and when Uncle Sam takes his 40%, you know, there's he probably donated what, $80 of his own money, maybe $1 of his own money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah, you good, man.
No, I'm trying. I'm just trying. There's so much going on in chat. I'm trying not to be a bad chat watcher. Like everybody's, it's great. You guys have been awesome. So thank you all for mostly behaving. Actually, pretty much behaving. So thank you. And look, you know what's like? I've seen a few disagreements in chat too. And you guys have actually acted like adults and had discussions. It's amazing. So thank you. Very good, very nice. So just wanted to say that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, constraint anachronism. I also wasn't sure what was so homophobic about that one as well. But
Yeah, me too.
What? He said he was homophobic?
Well, why else would he have
yeah.
donated it to the Trevor Project and laughed at him about it?
Because he's gay. Oh,
never was
Daniel
gay.
Greene isn't gay. My bad. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
That man, he's sitting down. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I can't. I'm watching Shameless, so all I can think about is all the people Ian has turned from straight to gay because it's just like, hey, you're gay, and they're like, oh yeah, I really am gay. It's like, oh okay.
That show is one that can't decide if it's woke or based.
It goes back and forth, yeah. But
Yeah.
whatever. It's just it's also a very hard show to watch because you get pissed off how terrible they are. It's like, why do you suck? It's like one minute you're rooting for them, then you're like, God, you suck. Fuck you. It's like,
Stop blowing up your own life, Lip, you fucking
yeah,
retard.
Lip, you dumb fuck. You're the smartest dumb motherfucker I've ever met. That's the best line of the show. You're the smartest dumbass I've ever met, you stupid fuck. Okay, here we go.
Why the franchise is now in the worst position it could basically possibly. And what's extra nice is I'm actually gonna take that money that I paid and just donate it to the Trevor Project.
Did he really like?
Actually, wait, can we pause on that donation?
So he did. I guess he did double it.
547 or tripled it?
He tripled it. Okay. Great. $5, man. I don't know what the Trevor Project does, but
look at that. Look, we don't know which studio failed to come to an agreement for producing a 4th season of the.
Who cares?
Yes, we do.
We do.
They both failed to come to an agreement. Amazon and
Amazon
Sony
said
were
no.
negotiating.
They said
both
no, Dave.
failed to come to an agreement.
You want to know the funny thing? They both probably went to the table and said, I don't want to do it. You should do it. And they're like, no, I don't know. Fuck no. I don't
Maybe
want to
they
do it.
both
You should
said
do it.
no.
They're both saying no to each other. Be like, well, come on. Somebody should do it.
Well, it was probably Amazon was like, look, I'll pay you $30 million for this thing. And Sony went, no. And you knew I was going to say no. So why, like, this so very obviously failed to hit benchmarks that it was a bad business decision to give this thing season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they should have killed it basically when they saw the numbers for the second and third week of season 1. They should have seen the dip after the first week and said, we blew it. Is what they should have done. But they greenlit that season 3 and nobody watched it.
Nope. I still think they just dumped it because they had it.
I think both of them would come to terms and say, look at how badly this is being produced and look at how the behavior of Rafe and stuff like that, saying this isn't professional, and they just booted him and booted the show.
Yeah, I think it was like Ironheart, right? Just, hey, we have this here. Let's just dump it, right?
Yeah.
I can't tell what is worse or what is worse, Daniel Greene applying everyone who disagreed with the casting pre-season 1 are racist, or that Sen is as evidence of diversity when he got cast as white twice in the show.
That's true. He did get cast as white twice.
That video aged and nobody knew. That was funny, but
Constrained Anachronism is on a roll here.
Dude, we have 100 and my God, I'm gonna end this poll. 166 votes on this poll.
Good grief,
wow,
man.
Good Lord. So race the blame. Like who knew? All right, here we go.
Yeah. And with the upward trajectory of quality and where the show is heading, I'm genuinely really disappointed to see that.
You're full of shit. We'll leave it there.
I think there was potential there, especially
upward trajectory. My ass. Rand didn't fight a single fucking penalty. He didn't fight in a single finale.
No, he did not.
Who's the last person Rand killed? Turok?
He killed Samael.
No, he didn't.
No, you're right. He did.
Samael.
Rand did not kill Samael. He defeated Samael.
He killed a little girl. That's it.
Actually, no. You're right. The last person Rand killed in this show was Ruark's granddaughter.
Not on purpose. Like I hate that so much because it's like what happens is not him like actively channeled. It's sort of like a natural response. Like he doesn't turn around but like I'm gonna fight it.
I still hate that. Like I know there's some people that like that. I hate that whole I don't know what I'm doing. Samael's dead. It's like God, fuck off.
Yeah,
I know. I think it was Al Dan and me who got a
Will Squatch.
Like I didn't like it. But
that's so funny.
Well, look, he's a little.
Great name.
I do take that as evidence that they never planned or never were going to go to tier, and that he was going to get Kalendor off screen because they forgot about it, because we got the the Timu version of the dead person that tried to revive in the Stone of Tyr. He didn't even revive her.
Exactly.
So Egwene is winning 2-0 and reviving dead people.
Yep. Rand's kills in the show include a nurse, a 10-year-old girl, and some guards he blasted with fire bullets.
Turok too.
Turok
the dinosaur hunter. Yeah, but that's it.
I'm not sure. Maybe Moraine was behind him that whole time.
He probably blew up some Shido that came with Samael. He killed.
Yeah, maybe. No. I thought Egwene killed most of them. I don't think Rand killed any of them. Egwene killed all those.
So
she was busy crumping in the back. Take care of business.
Yeah, and then he killed what? 2 Trollocs?
Oh yeah, the 2 Trollocs.
Alexander.
Or was it Lanfear? I wasn't really sure who was channeling right there.
Do we really count that? I don't count that.
No.
He laid down for the whole fight and then just turned on. He made his sword hot.
That was an Egwene chest
Yeah, that was an Egwene crumping win.
whatever that you guys called that.
Kane Legion also a shade in season 2. When did he? Oh yeah, you know what? With Lanfear, he set it on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I always forget that because Rand used the sword twice or 3 times in this show.
And
he
one was
impaled himself. He stabbed Shamael, and then a Fade knocked the sword out of his hands in 5 seconds in season 2.
Wait. So Kane, did he kill the final Fade? Is that what happened? Since there were no Fades in season 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed them all.
Rand killed the last Fade. That was the last one. Oh, sorry.
That's a good point, Gadplay.
I still can't get over there were no Fades in season 3.
Yeah.
I can't get over that there were no Trollocs in season 2 after the first cold open.
Jeez. They were busy being puppies.
The cast that the show had, it really felt like they were managing to come into the characters. And there's even an interview on the Dusty Wheel with Yosef Stradowski where he seems so passionate about realizing the future of Rand al'Thor and getting.
This is the only guy that I feel bad for.
I feel terrible. I feel terrible for him. I've said it a million times. The poor dude got duped. He got screwed. 100% screwed.
Bad. Yeah, he got screwed, but at the same time, he's not a great actor. I've watched him in English and in Dutch. He's a model.
Well, who knows if he had. I'm not saying you're wrong, but if he got something to actually work and look, he's
it would
the
have
only
been better
one.
for him if the show was written better. I agree.
Yeah. So look, the dude is the only one that came into the series having read the whole series because he was excited to play the character. He's playing Rand al'Thor, who should have made him the most famous person on Earth. And neither mattered, and he's still probably the only one on the cast that's read the whole book. Now Perrin's actor and Nynaeve's actor are reading it because our characters are so different than the ones that are in the show.
Yeah.
We don't get mixed up anymore. It's like how do you make that statement that my character in the book is so different than my show character? I get confused. Like what?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
all the different stages.
Gadfly, this always cracks me up because he was notably bigger in season 2. He very clearly bulked up for it, but in seasons 1 and seasons 3, he was much slimmer. So it's this weird thing. If you watch it all back to back, he goes skinny, big, skinny.
Yeah, no, it's.
I have not seen.
It just sucks that so much effort is going to evaporate now. And looking back on the 3 seasons that we do have.
Just because you put effort into something doesn't mean you produce anything worthwhile. I could put a lot of effort into taking a large dump.
And it would still end up a giant pile of shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a lot of effort put into this. Skill issue. Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of effort, but we borrowed costumes. We couldn't look, all you have to do is look at half of the freaking props that they did. They couldn't even get the props right. I don't care. And look, I don't care if the dresses are beautiful or not. They don't fit the setting. Great, you have some talented seamstress, some talented people that are talented in putting clothing together. Well, give them the right clothing to make.
Yes.
There's a dagger. It's got a ruby hilt in it. don't tell me it's too hard to make a dagger with a ruby in the hilt. Like, stop it. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you have a picture of these things.
Yep.
It's you can't Ice and Eye rings. They don't have little fucking candy
pop.
fucking ring pops on them. They're just a serpent eating the tail. That's it. Like, they're not Power Rangers, for fuck's sake.
They look worse than ever. Even season 3 now just looks like lost potential. In the future, from
No, the whole series has lost potential.
here, in my opinion, is looking pretty dark for the franchise The Wheel of Time. I hope I am wrong, but with the video game rights being in the hands of IWAT, who have an ambitious, we're going to make our own AAA Wheel of Time game claim, that's not the basket I'd put my eggs in for quality. And for any major studio...
Hey, I agree with something finally in this video.
Yeah.
Right.
It is
First thing I
pretty
agree with.
grim. Or maybe it's like they're not going to make any TV shows or movies from it, and the books can just exist as the books.
No, yeah, I want is I've agreed. I've agreed with what he said here. The IP is damaged, at least in terms of anything in the in the live action media. The books will be fine. I think the books probably still pick up readers. Actually, just curiosity maybe. But in terms of I don't know. Maybe somebody who can get the rights in a fire sale and make an anime. That's the best case scenario right now. Or maybe the lost animations we were supposed to get for season 2 will be released and they're really good. Who knows? Right? Remember those the mystery animations that disappeared? Shit.
Considering a fantasy adaptation in the future, looking at Wheel of Time, they just see one of the richest studios in terms of resources that's able to adapt material failing with what, and that makes it less attractive. It's probably going to be a long time before any major player starts sniffing around Robert Jordan's IP again. There's currently a petition going around called Save Watt. Man, I hope their 1 in a million chance does pan out and they're able to get something there. You guys have my full support in terms.
Didn't work. Sorry. Hate to break it to you.
Winter Dragon 2. Like, that is like, I've got some appreciation of that for sure.
Look, I'm telling you, give somebody a few iPhones and some old clothing. They can make a better Wheel of Time show.
I'm seriously thinking about trying to film a couple scenes. I need to find actors though.
Like, you and I can make it on the hiking trail. I'll be the Fade.
I was thinking, like, if you could get find a hiking trail, get a wagon, get 2 guys to play Rand and Tam, you could totally film the scene with the Fade.
Oh yeah. 100%. You can totally film just make it dark, get in the forest, get a litter. You can have Rand playing hide and seek with the Trollocs and the Fade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's like make it more powerful.
That would be even easier to film with less props.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's mostly going to be dark around you, right? Yeah.
Ticks.
Mm-hmm.
Ticks.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah.
I had Lyme disease last year and fuck ticks.
Yeah.
In terms of my heart, but my logical brain, I'm not really seeing that happen. Best case scenario, if the Cosmere gets adapted over the next 10 years and it's performing incredibly, that could potentially bring some renewed interest to everything Sanderson's name is attached to. And my best hope for that is we'd eventually get a Wheel of Time animated show. I actually think that would be a great direction to go in and distinguish itself without nearly as many limitations that live action kind of require. And as a fan of Brandon Sanderson, I'm really...
That's basically it.
What is he kissing Sanders?
Excited to see what is going to happen there in terms of what will be brought to life. I know I talked...
I don't ever want to
Didn't
see
Sanderson
that on
announce
screen.
it was dead, by the way?
It's dead, yeah. He killed it. He killed the
Thank the
Mistborn.
light.
He killed the Mistborn adaptation because he fucking he apparently he decided to do everything before finding a studio to actually do the thing. So he got commitments from actors for roles and all kinds of shit. He did steps 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then he did he finished step 8, which was hiring cast and crew and doing location shots and hiring actors and actresses for characters. Then he went and tried to shop for studios, and the studios are like, don't you think we wanted to have some input who were actors and actresses in our
Why
fucking
didn't
show?
he just
So
create
they
his own
didn't do it.
studio and film it?
Well, I still don't understand why he doesn't make his
I
own
mean,
studio.
any old regular indie film thing, I think he was trying to fish for a big studio to pick it up.
Oh yeah, he's gender. He already said he was going to gender swap Ham years ago. So that was all. That was a low key sign right from the beginning that
Mistborn would have probably been the only one that would be a decent adaptation. I don't ever want to see the Cosmere on screen.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Demigod, 100%. Yeah, we've said that many times. I highly agree. It's the biggest problem wasn't it being woke, but it obviously is woke. That's 100% correct. It had a lot more problems. Now you could also say, I think it was what Will said was basically a lot of those problems are because it's woke. They sort of commingle. But shit writing is shit writing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was, the show sucked. That's why it sucked. Like the acting was bad, the props were bad, the setting was bad, the fucking costuming was bad, the props was bad, the stories were bad, everything was bad. Special effects were bad.
The money was squandered.
Trafficked, smuggled.
Yeah. So they wasted a whole bunch of money on nothing. So, but yeah. So man, well, we've almost gone 4 hours, dude. So thank you both for being here.
Yeah, thanks. I wasn't planning on going today. I was having a day.
Yeah, I can't believe that Spurg out he did at the end there. That was wild. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Cry for help. I don't know.
Especially when like the guy was pretty much right.
Yeah, the guy crushed it.
Yeah, his comment was basically dead on. So like, and I'm like, one of the most frustrating things is when you have people that have read the series try and say that Rand al'Thor is not the main character. And it's one of those things. It's like, look, just because Rand al'Thor is the main character doesn't make any. I've said it a million times. Just because Rand is the main character doesn't make any of the other characters less important or have just as many cool or important things in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Rand is still the main character.
Yep. That
doesn't make any other character less, but they're not the main character. Rand is the main character. That's all. So, real quick, we hadn't said anything yet, and I don't know if you want to look in the chat, but Will and Lady B have put out a video on White Cloaks. Go check it out. It's about the retardedness of Rotten Tomatoes scoring and Wheel of Time especially. Buddy the Wonder Dog says, "Hey, it's a Lady B sighting." There she is.
Yep.
Hey, PFC Vasquez. Glad you found us too. Glad to find some folks who understand the commiserate how bad the show is. Yep. Glad you found us too. There's plenty of backlog of it.
Yeah.
Gonna probably keep talking about it. I know Dane in the Red Hand Discord is about to start up. I think the March Madness type. What is the worst moment of season 3, which we will cover ad nauseum over here with clips and some fun. It's always fun to do that, along with other stuff. But I'm not gonna let we're having too much fun right now. We had last night or Monday had about 90 some odd people hop in and join the fun, and we got up to like 110 150 people tonight. So obviously everybody's enjoying getting together and sort of having this sort of victory lap, I guess, or just scratching our head, just discussing what these people are thinking. But everybody's enjoying it, everybody's having fun, so I'm gonna keep doing it. So yeah, thank you, Darth Malicious. Some great comments by you too, man. Thank you very much for and thank you very much for keeping it saw some of your discussions in chat. Thank you for keeping it subtle or keeping it friendly, even though if you don't agree with somebody, that's cool. We can have discussions and not be babies. So thank you for being very, very responsible and having some cool debates. So debates are always good. So no, you were great. You were great. I mean that. Like, it's okay. Like, look, we're not an echo chamber here. It's okay if you don't agree. We're all grown-ups. We can talk back and forth. We don't have to agree. Part of loving the Wheel of Time too is debating about what we like and what we don't like, and what we think is this and what we think is that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, so thank you very much. Did you link your video?
Oh, sorry, I forgot I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah. Walt 69, Rafe Judkins is an idiot. All he had to do was keep the story close to the books. 100%. That is the hardest thing too, right?
Yeah.
It's all there on the page,
You
and
can just put it in chat.
everybody that says that there's too many characters, come on, stop it. It could have been done.
Jonathan.
Mule says,
Jonathan.
what happened?
We're just saying hi.
Oh, hey, Jonathan. I didn't see him. Just because Rand is the main character doesn't mean Rand is the main character. Oh, I missed this. Hold on. Black Cane for $5. Daniel Greene was doing Steiner math, and him crashing out over that chat was like Mr. Dick and Balls ending Jack Murphy's career. Very good. Oh shit. Very good. I love
It was funny. Joshua was the one we started watching the first episode of the Dresden Files, and we went on stream for that for quite a while before it got shut down for copyright. So that was pretty funny.
Oh god, I need to get back on track with Dan and stuff about the Dresden Files. I haven't watched the I've never watched the
I haven't seen it either, but we're going for a while, like on the books. Where are we at now?
We're on book 5 or 6.
I think 6.
Yeah, man. We gotta talk.
And Tech-Max wants me to remind you about Elric.
Elric, yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
I was reading that too.
Tech-Max also wants me to remind you about Carl.
Yes, we have to do that. We
Why,
should.
why is it me? Elric still Elric okay. Elric okay, I get. Read, hey, if you need something to read and you guys haven't read it, Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's freaking amazing.
Listen to it. It's so good as an audiobook.
It's
like,
freaking so good. So, all right. Well, so I linked that in the chat. Go check out the White Cloak's newest video. And until the next stream, thank you all for being here, and we will see you later.
Cool.
Bye. Okay, we'll get the Carl going, Jack. I got you. Bye.